the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, we're only 53 days away from kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
Hello and welcome into the Hot Springs edition of the Arkansas Sports Network, Arkansas Football Preview, Hometown Sports Volume 2. Glad to have you along here. I've got my friend Carson Ward with me right here, along with Aaron Powers over here. He's pushing all the buttons, making things work here. And man, we're glad to be here once again. And we've got a special team here, probably the team that's going to end up driving the furthest over here to talk with us. We're looking forward to talking with Lake Village, Lakeside Lake Village, I'm sorry, here in just a moment. We want to thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank Cornerstone Roofing and Construction with Alton Irwin. Call him at 870-215-3548 for all of your roofing and construction needs. And then Harps Foods is a regional sponsor here in the Hot Springs all day long. We want to say thank you to them. And then for Lake Village specifically, the Lake Village Drug and Gifts. Appreciate them for joining us here. Carson, man, we've had a good week, and it feels like it's winding down now because we've been all over the place. We started in Fayetteville, had a good day in Fayetteville. Little Rock had a good day in Little Rock. You guys were in Camden yesterday. We were in Jonesboro yesterday. I think we've interviewed about 50-ish, 52, 53, 54 coaches. Today we're going to interview some more between us and the Van Buren site that is on the Arkansas Sports Network High School YouTube page. That will be up here at 11 o'clock. I think we're going to do 20-ish more before it's all said and done. So we really have covered a big portion of the state today or this week.
Yeah, we got Clinton tomorrow, don't we?
Yes.
So we're going to be talking to some more tomorrow as well. And then we've got a lot of good coaches today. I'm really excited about the guys we brought in to talk to us today. We've got Hot Springs teams. We've got Mount Ida. We got uh, Glen Rose. We've got a couple others that I'm really excited about. Of course, Lakeside Lake Village is here to talk to us first, and they're going to be a great interview. They have a really unique situation going on over there, so we're interested to hear about that, and it's just going to be great. It's going to be great.
It's always fun talking high school football here in the state of Arkansas, and we're going to get to it. So we're going to bring Coach Darius Green in from Lakeside Lake Village, and I'm going to turn it over to Carson. He's going to take the first round here while I try to get a few things taken care of. Carson, appreciate you, man. You do such a great job. We're looking forward to having Lake Village in here.
All right, we are here with the co-head football coach of the Lakeside Lake Village football team, Coach Darius Green. So, Coach, thank you for being here today. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to come talk to us today. Um, Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing over there with your the decision to have co-head coaches.
First off, thank you all for having us. That decision came about through my superintendent. You know, he prides himself on trying to be a visionary, to do things different. You know, our football program traditionally in the last few years we have struggled a little bit. So he decided to make a change and wanted to try to do something different. The benefit of it is, and the beauty of it is that both of the head coaches, myself and Coach Darren Tony. We're both alums of Lakeside. We graduated from there. He's a 2003 graduate. I'm a 2011 graduate. And, he and I are real close. We're real good friends. We work together anyway. So it just made sense for us, to kind of work together to do it. I'm a little bit more experienced as far as the official coaching side. I have a few more years than he does. He's a former NFL athlete, played collegiate football at Arkansas State, played in the CFL. So, he brings a wealth of knowledge to our program and to our kids. And, I'm more of a consistent factor because I've been there for 9 years now. I'm the athletic director. So, it's one of those things where I'm familiar with the kids and I know the kids on a more personal level. So we both kind of work hand in hand regarding that.
Talk to me about just an overview of what you guys are doing with your football team right now, what you guys are doing in the summertime to get your team prepared for the regular season.
I mean, kind of the same thing that everyone else does. We're in the weight room, we're team camping, we're going to 7-on-7s, we're doing all those things. The biggest thing that we're trying to do is focus on shifting the culture and the mindset. Our program, like I said, has struggled in the last few years. In the last 2 years, we haven't beaten a team in the state of Arkansas. So, that's a big thing where we're trying to focus on getting that changed and getting the mindset of the kids changed. I mean, our kids are great kids. They're working hard now. They're buying into what we're trying to do. And I personally believe that we're going to surprise a lot of people this year. There are some people that probably put us on schedule because they thought it was going to be an easy win. They're probably scheduling us for homecomings. And our mindset is we're going in the homecoming games to disturb and disrupt your homecoming. Your homecoming will not be happy if you're playing us.
Tell me about what you guys are doing with your X's and O's on offense and defense.
Offensively, we're going to be multiple. The last 2 years, with the previous head coach, we were more of a pistol spread type team. This year, we're going back to what I'm familiar with. Last time I was coaching, we are under center, we're ground and pound. We're going to put the ball in the hands of our best athletes and let our best athletes be the best athletes. I mean, that's what we're doing defensively. We're going to be extremely multiple between the three front and the forefront. Some five front things. We're going to try to be as multiple and balanced as we can. But our balance, with us being balanced, is not necessarily being equal with passing and running. It's more so of us taking advantage of what the defense is giving us. If you're giving us the pass, we'll take it. If you're giving us the run, we're going to take it. But if it's up to us, we want to run the ball. And we have a bunch of athletes to do that. So we're going to try to put the ball in their hands and let them be special athletes like they are.
Tell me about your schedule this year, who you guys are playing in non-conference and then going into conference play, just a little bit about your conference, who's in it, who you guys might be looking forward to playing, if there's a certain game that you guys have a rivalry with, and then in non-conference, what you guys are looking forward to as well.
Well, our non-conference schedule, we start off with our benefit game against CrossFit. We played them in the benefit game the last 3 years or so. That's always a pretty good game for us to kind of start off and get our feet wet a little bit. And then on the 29th, we host Carlisle for week 0. Carlisle, we know last year they were a really good team, went undefeated in their conference and ended up losing to Junction City in the playoffs. I know that, um, that game is going to be a test for us because even though they're two-way, they are a quality two-way team. They're not a team that's short stopping on athletes. They have the kids up front, they have the skill players, and they have the confidence to be a really good team. So it's our job, to try to hopefully take down some of that confidence a little bit and establish ourselves as a program. We also have Little Rock Hall for week 2, and then we have Star City for week 3. And then after that, we kick off our conference play against Dumas. That is a matchup that we look forward to. That is, Dumas and McGee are pretty much our rivalry games in conference because those are the closest games to us. We have some things with the kids know each other because they're so close in proximity. They grew up with each other. They played against each other for the most part their entire lives. So they have a relationship. And, the beauty of it is although they have a rivalry amongst each other, it's not a rivalry to where it becomes bitter. It's a rivalry when it comes to competition. So we always look forward to those games, and then we have Drew Central. They'll be coming to us for homecoming this year on October the 10th. That's a game we look forward to. They've beat us pretty soundly the last 2 years, so hopefully we can try to redeem ourselves in that aspect. All of our games, we look forward to as a redemptive thing for us because we want to try to reestablish our respect within the state of Arkansas and within our conference. We are not naive to the fact that we haven't beat a team in the state of Arkansas for the last 2 years. And we see the Hootens rankings like everyone else does, and our coaches poll in our conference had us pick to finish last. And like we tell our kids, that's not a thing that's put together by the state of Arkansas. That's what the coaches in the conference voted upon, and they placed us last. And they put us last for a reason, and that's how they feel. And it's our job to make sure we change that mindset and that feeling. And the only way we can do that is by the way we perform on the field.
You said that you were trying to shift the culture over at Lakeside Lake Village. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing to shift the culture over there.
The first thing we're trying to do is we're establishing a love for the weight room. Our kids, I mean, for years past, our kids have traditionally not been very enthused about the weight room. But now this year, I mean, we've seen major growth within our kids, man. Their mindset and them just showing up, coming to practice, buying into what we're doing and to what we're trying to get them to do. I mean, we have kids who traditionally would play certain positions that are have been willing to convert to other positions for the greater good of the team. That's the biggest thing is getting them and also reestablishing a pride in Lakeside football. When I played back at Lakeside in 2011, we didn't have the greatest season, but we had pride. And getting the kids to buy into, Lakeside Beaver football and what that means and what that stands for. And then, be proud about being a Beaver. You're playing for the name that's on the front of your jersey, not what's on the back.
Talk to me about your team coming into this year, who you guys have that's leaving that might have be a big hole to fill, and then who you guys have coming back that you guys are really excited about coming into this season.
Well, for us, the kids that graduated, we lost a few kids that graduated, but with us establishing a totally new system offensively and defensively, it kind of negates the fact that they're leaving because the system has changed. So we're just kind of restarting and resetting with everything. I mean, we have several kids. We have Davion Johnson who's coming in, who's going to be a quarterback for us this year, and he's been really good at learning the offense and mastering the offense for us. So he'll be a real good force for us. We also have senior Roderick Connick, who's also going to be who was a good player last year, missed a few games due to injuries and some other things that'll be back. He'll be big for us. And we also got, a couple of the kids that are here, Vincent King, who was our leading rusher last year. We have Jadon Hunt, who's going to be big for us. He's one of those kids we talking about that's converting, that's willing to convert and play some other positions. We got Junior Dalen Johnson, who's a big player for us. We got Jamarcus Lancaster, that's going to be big for us on the defensive side of the ball. Keistavion Jones, who has an over 500-pound squat right now, who's going to be big for us up front. I mean, it's good. We have a kid that transferred back, that moved back home, who's from Lake Village, who stayed in Lake Village his whole life, who was going to school in McGee, who's transferred back home, who's going to be a big player for us. AJ Wilson, he's going to be a big player for us. I mean, all of those things are big for us, and those kids are big for us. But every kid on our team has a job and responsibility, so all of them are important. And we treat them all that way because even though you might not be the best one on offense or defense, we can find somewhere for you on special teams. There's something that you can do to help our team. So all of our kids are important, and we try to teach them and coach them as such and treat them as such.
Tell me what would be a successful season for you guys this year.
Successful season for us um, is more of a twofold thing. First off, is getting the kids to buy into that mindset and that culture to show improvement in that standpoint of what it means to be a Beaver. And secondly, making the playoffs. That's a big thing. Not just winning one or two games. We want to be a playoff team. And a long-term goal is to eventually try to compete for a conference championship, and then eventually for a state championship. That should be the ultimate goal at the end of the day is trying to get to up to Little Rock and play at War Memorial in December. So as of right now, the biggest thing for us is trying to reestablish ourselves as a playoff caliber team.
Tell me about what you guys do, not just to help your guys on the football field, but to help them develop into better young men.
I mean, we try to first off spend time with them outside of ball, not just try to talk ball to them. Try to talk life to them, try to speak life into them, try to let them know that they are bigger and better than some of the circumstances that they come out of. Because some of our kids have been through a lot of traumatic things. Some of them come from uh, various circumstances that are not great. So trying to show them that yes, although you might come from this, although you might deal with this, you can be bigger than that. And we try not to dwell on the past. Let them know that the last 2 years or whatever, the past has nothing to do with your future. We kind of approach it with a Philippians 3:13 mindset, forgetting those things that are behind me and reaching for what's in front, pressing toward the mark. And the mark for us is us trying to be better today than we were yesterday. And every day trying to be a little better and getting them to understand that they are what they think they are. If they think they're better, they can be better. And the way that they approach life, approach the game of football, approach practice, approach the classroom, approach peer-to-peer interaction, adult interaction, all those things kind of determine who they are and who they can be.
I'll ask you one more question, and then we'll get your guys up here. Tell me what the community is like in Lake Village and what the Friday night lights are like in that town.
Oh man, like I said, the last few years it's kind of been down a little bit because like anywhere, people want to see a winning product. But if not just a winning product, they want to see a product that's competitive. Our community right now is excited. They're extremely excited about what's to come this year. And we plan to match their excitement and exceed their excitement. We want them to see a product on Friday nights that they are proud of. I mean, Friday nights this year is going to be exciting. I mean, we have themes already set for all of our football games, thanks to our public relations lady, Miss Rayanne Lewis, who handles all of that for us. She has already scheduled and put together our theme nights for all of our home games. So that's exciting. We're always blessed to have a quality band program that's going to perform and be able to play and get the crowd engaged. Our PA announcer. I mean, everything kind of goes hand in hand with that. We got a group of people who kind of come together. We don't have a traditional booster club, but we have a group of parents and friends of the program that come together and shoot off the fireworks for games and all those things. So all those things kind of go hand in hand. So Friday nights for us, man, is going to be exciting this year, without a doubt. And we have 6 home games this year, so that makes it even better. So there's 6 opportunities for our fans to come out and see us this year in Lake Village.
Well, if you would go ahead and introduce the three guys that you brought with you today and the first two that you're going to send up.
All right, so we have Junior Dalen Johnson, who is an O lineman, D lineman for us. Then we have Junior Vincent King, who's a running back and DB for us. And then we have Senior Jadon Hunt, who we call him an athlete because he's played linebacker last year. This year he's gonna kind of convert for us and play some D line and probably some O line for us as well. So those guys are gonna be extremely big for us. So the first two coming up will be Jadon Hunt and Vincent King.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all for having us.
Hey, go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Um, my name Vincent King. I'm a junior. Last year I was lead rushing on my team. I got a good team to make sure we straight. We've been working hard in the weight room. These last years ain't been what we want, but it's gonna get better.
I'm Jadon Hunt. Um, kind of like the glue guy of the team. Played everything, did everything. Just coming back from my last year. We've been disrespected the past 2 years, and we coming back to get our respect.
Talk to me about what it's like playing for two head coaches at the same time.
That I was surprised when they told me we was gonna have like co-head coaches too, because I'm used to having one head coach, but Coach Green, he's a good coach, and Coach Darren Tony, he's been played in the NFL, so he can give us like experience and stuff. And Coach Green, he got the experience in coaching, and he can help out a lot. Uh,
Um, for me, it's kind of bittersweet because Coach Green, he's my godfather. I've known him since I was a child. He played a big part in raising me. And Coach Tony, I just met him last year. He came in. He he wasn't rude. He talked to us nicely. But he did demand his respect, and I respect him for that.
Talk to me about who you guys are going to play this year. Who's on your schedule that maybe you guys are looking forward to? I know you guys have some rivals that are close to you, like McGee. So tell me a little bit about who you guys are looking forward to playing this season.
Dumas, Dumas. That's my number one priority right now. We had a coach from Dumas. His name, can I say his name? His
Yeah.
name Coach Roderick Smith. He was a good coach, one of my junior high coach. He's the reason I'm still playing football right now, cause it was motivation and stuff. I still got contact with him. We talk stuff. We go beat you type stuff like that. We still got contact. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Dumas.
Um, Not gonna lie, it's the same for me. It's Dumas. I don't really know what it is. Coach Rod, he coached me too. We wasn't the closest they are, but he coached me too. And yeah, it's just Dumas.
Talk to me about what you guys are doing right now in the off season, as far as you guys have talked about the weight room a lot, and so I know you guys are doing some of that stuff. But what else are you guys doing to make yourselves better during the off season to go into the football season stronger?
Conditioning, conditioning. Now we have like more players to where like we can switch out. We won't have to be tired as much, but conditioning is a key that we have to keep doing.
Um, yeah, like you said, we're conditioning, and we're getting the younger guys to help us and step up, cause we got more depth than we had last year. So everybody won't be as burnt out and as tired as they was last year.
Tell me about what you guys like about your team this year, whether it's going to be a explosive offense or a defense that's going to be really shut down or anything like that. What are you guys really looking forward to about this team this year?
A explosive offense and a good defense too. The formation we're running right now, like Coach Green said, we got a guy that came in from McGee that's originally from Lake Village. He's a good running back. We got Roderick Cunnick, good running back. Me, Jay Marion Arley, he played quarterback last year, but we moved him back. Yeah, it's good backfield.
Um, for me, it's a shutdown defense, cause I'm moving to the line. Probably gonna play some linebacker too. Yeah, I'm be a D tackle. You got Dalen on the end. Um, Alex Akins. He didn't really get that much recognition, but he was one of our bigger players for us last year. Jamarcus Lancaster, uh, Elijah Starks. Yeah, those were some of our bigger players for us last year.
All right, I'll get you guys one more question, then we'll get your last player in here. What would be a successful season for you guys over at Lakeside Lake Village?
Uh, you go first on this one.
Um, a successful season for me is winning it all, getting to play in War Memorial, because it's my senior year, and I haven't been to the playoffs not once, and I'm just trying to go all the way, win the state championship.
What I want to do first is that eighth in the coaches ranking. They got it as eight. I want to change that to one and make the playoffs for sure.
All right, well, thank you guys for being with us today. We're going to get your teammate in here real quick if we can, and thank you guys for being here with us today. Really appreciate talking to you guys.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
having you.
Yeah, either one's fine, either chair. All right, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Dalen Johnson. I've been playing football for a couple of years now, and I know our program hasn't been going the way that I would expect it to go. My ninth grade year, we had a pretty solid team, and then we had some coaches that left. Like my teammate said, Vincent King, Coach Rye from Dumas, he left us, and some more coaches we had left us. Specifically, I had a real close D-line coach. He taught me everything I know, and losing him had hurt us a little bit. But now we have a good coaching staff. We have two head coaches, amazing defensive coach, amazing offensive coach. We can pound the run, then do a pass. I feel like no team will be able to stop us. Only we can stop us. That's how I feel. Um, we're just going to dominate. And I know we're ranked last out of coaches poll. And I looked and it just reminds me every day of how hard we have to go and how much we have to play to really prove ourselves and get our respect back. You know, um, we have a lot of support around us. The coaches have done a lot for us, family, friends. So we can't disappoint.
Talk to me about what it's like having two head football coaches.
Well, I say it's like you get the both of best worlds. I want to say, they're very assertive. They're going to make you work hard every day, every second, not a break off. You're going to leave practice exhausted every day. I mean, they're good with us inside the weight room, the field. Really teaching us the fundamentals, making sure we have everything down. They're amazing coaches. Those two together.
Tell me about what the Friday night lights are like in Lake Village, Arkansas.
We have our fireworks go off every time. We do our chant, we go off, and we just play good. The fans are loud. Last year had my grandma. She was the loudest person every time. You could hear her over the bands playing. No matter where she is, you're going to hear her loud every time. And during our last game, we played. We had lost her the next day, and at first it had really took a toll on me, and it was hard transitioning like to go through that. I thought about taking time off from football, but my coach, our co-head coach, our defensive coach, Darren Tony, he came to me, talked to me, and said, I need to use this to just go harder and play harder, and all the success we have for this year is going to be for her, and we gotta go deep. That's all it is. I mean, we're going all in. We're not just looking for a win or two. We're trying to go all in all the way.
Talk to me about the brotherhood that you guys have on your football team.
We're all very close, very close friends. We talk outside of practice, and in practice, sometimes we get into it, but it's just all love. We all want to see each other do better, so we push each other to be better. When we see one of us slacking off, we just talk to him, sometimes get a little physical, but we're all a good team.
All right, what would be a successful season for Lakeside this year?
In my words, I would say just prove everybody wrong. All the teams, they're going to come into the game thinking that we're the same teams from a couple years ago. They were just going to lay down and quit. They were just going to fight for the first half and then stop. And that's just not the narrative that we have running anymore. We want to prove them wrong. We have Dumas at home this year. I believe Fordyce at home as well. Drew Central. And we're ready. We're ready.
So I'll ask you one more question and then I'll let you go. Is Dumas the team that you're looking forward to playing the most as well?
I would say Dumas is team looking forward to play to the most. We've had the rivalry since Pee Wee, and these past couple of years we haven't beat Dumas. Last year we came close, but things happen. And I remember after the game they celebrated. I still have the celebration inside my phone. I look at it every day. So they're coming to our field this time, and I'm just ready to play 'em.
All right, well, thank you for being here with us today. We really appreciate you guys coming down and talking to us here at Arkansas Sports Network. Aaron, we're going to go to a break, aren't we? And then we're going to be back, and we will have Falk and Coach Jerry Littleton here to talk to us for our next segment. And then we are going to roll on with the rest of our day here in Hot Springs. You're watching Hometown Sports Volume 2 on the Arkansas Sports Network. All right, we're live here from Hot Springs. We have Coach Jerry Littleton here, the head football coach for the Falcon Panthers, with us today. Coach, thank you for coming here and talking to us.
Appreciate you having me.
So, tell us a little bit about just an overview of what's going on with your football team right now, as far as what you guys are doing in the off season, and then what you're looking forward to this football season.
We're probably pretty standard to the rest of the state. Monday through Thursdays we're working out, lifting weights, running, practicing. On Tuesdays we're in a little Southwest Arkansas 7-on-7 league with some teams around the area. We did some team camps in June. Haven't decided if we're going to go to any more padded team camps in July, but we're averaging 30 to 35 kids a day, senior high wise. They're working hard, just trying to get better every day.
Talk to me about what your guys' schedule looks like this year, who you guys are playing in non-conference, and then moving into conference play. If there are any rivalry games or anything like that that you guys are going to be playing that you're looking forward to.
It's year 2 of the cycle, so we'll play Derrick's Murfreesboro and Genoa again in non-conference, and that Falcon Genoa game, that's our big rival game with them coming back to 11-man football. We played them last year, and this will be year 2, renewing the rivalry. And then in our conference, it's a battle every week. You got Prescott, Bismarck, Camden, Harmony Grove, Smackover, Center Point, Horatio, and Parker's Chapel. So it's a tough conference week in and week out. There's not really many weeks off for us on our schedule.
Talk to me about who you guys have coming back this year and who you guys lost from last year.
We lost. We had about 35 kids on the team last year, and we lost 20 seniors. So especially the small school, that's going to be hard to replace. About 15 of them were 3-year starters. But we got some seniors coming back. The 2 guys that are here with us today, they're going to be crucial parts of the team. You guys will get to talk to them in a minute. And we got some young guys, that those seniors have been playing so much. We've got a bunch of guys who hadn't got a lot of chances to play, so they're working extremely hard because they know it's finally their time to shine. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
Tell me about what the community is like in Falk and what the Friday Night Lights are like in that town.
That's one thing I would say for our community. They, no matter what sport it is, the Falcon fans, they're going to be there and they're going to be cheering no matter what the score is. They love Falcon Panthers, and you couldn't work at a better place.
Talk to me about what you guys do as far as your culture and what you guys are trying to do to get your team on the right path, not just on the field but off the field as well.
We stress grades just like any other program. We tell them to win on the field and in the classroom. This is my 7th year here, so these kids, the culture's already there. They know how we do it each day, and they kind of police themselves, and that's a good thing with our team when the kids are holding each other accountable.
Talk to me about being there for so long. You've worked with a lot of different groups of seniors. What's special about this group of seniors you have this year?
This group, there were 6th graders when I got there, so I didn't really meet a lot of them till my 2nd year. But just each year you around the kids longer and longer, so you get to know them. Like especially the seniors, you know them even more on a personal level. You talk to them about a whole bunch of stuff besides football. So just watching them grow up and turn into mature young men, that's one of the best parts of the job.
Talk to me a little bit about what a successful season will look like to you guys over at Falk.
Of course, for the town, their first thing they're going to say is beat Genoa. So we play them week 2. But right now, of course, for me, our most important game is Derrick's. But, for us, beating Genoa, hanging on to that trophy, our goal is to always, make the playoffs. And, like last year, I stressed so hard that make the playoffs, but we need to find a way to get over that hump to win that playoff game. We won, I think we've made the playoffs, I don't know how many times in school history, but we have 1 playoff win. So we just got to try to get over that hump where we can start racking up some playoff wins for the Falcon football.
Talk to me about the coaching staff that you have over at Falk.
This year, didn't have to bring on anybody new. Jeff Ritter, he's been my defensive coordinator for this will be his 6th season. Hunter Lansdale, he played for me my first year at Falk. He played quarterback and then graduated a couple years ago. This will be his 3rd season with me. And Chase Rico, he's been with me for 5 years now. So the kids, like the consistency's there all throughout the coaching staff. The kids know what they expect. We know what to expect from the kids. So it's just smooth. It's running real smooth right now.
Tell me about your X's and O's on offense and defense and what you guys are going to do scheme wise.
we run spread. You know, we'll have a tight end in there. We you obviously you want to say you're balanced, but I mean if we can run the ball, we're going to run the ball. And, just move the chains. Defensively, we run an even front. We try to play that bend but don't break. Don't let nothing get over your head. And then as the field shrinks, that's when we try to make plays. In the red zone and get them crucial stops in the games.
All right, Coach. Go ahead and introduce the guys that you brought with you here today.
Yeah, we're gonna we got two guys. They've been 3-year starters for me. The first one, Chris Sherman, he's a linebacker, returning all conference. He plays a little offensive line for us too, but he thinks he's more of a linebacker guy for us. He's a great kid on and off the field. He is here every day, works hard. He's one of the leaders of our team. Like I said, he's been with me since 7th grade. We're definitely going to miss him after this year. And then Joshua Scoggins, he'll be our running back this year. He made some great plays for us as a sophomore. 2 years ago, and then last year, we had a plan for him to play some receiver, play some tailback, and he ended up he broke his collarbone in week 1, the first game, and he missed 6 weeks for us. And then he came back against Center Point, and that's when our running back was out at the time, and he stepped up and ran for about 150 and 4 touchdowns. And he had some big plays for us last year towards the end of the season when he came back. So it's his turn to be the feature back on our team, and we're expecting a big season out of him.
All right. Well, you can go ahead and turn it over to them. And thank you for coming to talk to us today,
Appreciate
Coach.
it.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Uh, Senior linebacker, all conference.
Senior tailback this year.
So, talk to me about what it's like playing for Coach Littleton over at Falk.
It's great. Great community. Love playing with them. Love the guys we play with also. Um, Work hard every day.
Just like he said, Littleton's a great coach, got great plays in the book, and I love playing with for all the coaches that help him.
Talk to me about what it's like playing in Falk for that community and what the Friday night lights are like in that on a Friday night in Falk.
Uh, it's great. Love playing for the city and stuff. It's great.
Man, a lot of people show up to the games, no matter how much we're losing by, they're always still so loud. One of the best communities in the state of Arkansas.
Talk to me about your schedule this year. Are there any? Obviously, Genoa is a big game, but talk to me a little bit about your guys' schedule and if there are any games you guys are looking forward to.
Uh, Genoa's really great. Can't wait to play them. Camden Harmony Grove, we lost to them last year. We were up pretty big. Can't wait to play them. Hopefully get our get back. And yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Genoa. That's our rivals. I didn't get to play against them last year, and last year was the first time we played them in a couple of years since they went to 8-man. This is their first year back to 11-man, but I'm really looking forward to Derek's as well. I got some buddies down there, and I only played one half last year, so I'm really looking forward to that game too.
Talk to me a little bit about what you're excited about with this team, whether you're going to have a really good offense or a shutdown defense. What are you guys looking forward to about this team specifically?
Uh, like our coach said, we lost a lot of guys. Gained a few good guys too. A lot of stepping up sophomores coming to juniors. Think we'll have a good defense like we did last year. Offense improving, teaching these younger guys how to do some stuff. Think we'll be pretty good on both sides of the ball.
Really looking forward to the offensive side of the ball. We got a young team. We got a really young skill guys. They're all going to step up and do good. We got a pretty good defense in the backfield. Got a lot of young guys, but they know what to do and they've done it for years.
Um, Tell me what would a successful season be for Falk this year?
Obviously beating Genoa. Winning more games than we did last year, which we had a pretty good season. Beating the tougher teams that we have at home, and just improving, getting better. Getting farther on.
A successful season for me would be going 7-3, and we've made the playoffs a lot, and I want to win the first game of playoffs. We haven't did that in years. Just want to win the first game, see how far we can make it.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say about your team before we send you off here?
Uh, Great guys, love playing with them. Sad it's my senior year, but can't wait to see what they do.
We're all buddies. We all play for each other. We're all really close in and out of football, and I think that's good to all be close together.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming down here and talking to us today. I really appreciated getting to meet you guys. We're going to go to a break real quick, and we'll have the Garden Go Devils here talk about their season. Um, and thank you to Roy's Pawn Shop and Harp's Hometown Fresh for sponsoring this segment of Hometown Sports. And we'll be right back here on the Arkansas Sports Network.
Thank you.
All right, we are here in Hot Springs live from the Hot Springs Convention Center. I am joined today by the head football coach of the Garden Go Devils, Coach Kyle Jackson. Coach, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. So, uh, tell me just give me an overview of what's going on with the Garden Go Devils football program right now.
Well, obviously, like everybody else, we're just getting back from dead weeks. We structure our summer. I don't know if it's differently than other people, but it's kind of what we hang our hat on. Coming right out of spring ball there in June, those first 3 weeks of summer, we try to knock out all of our team camps, 7-on-7s, and hit it pretty hard and heavy during June. Take an extra week off, so we give our guys 3 weeks off just to kind of rest and recover. And once we come back, these weeks in July, it's strictly focused on strength and conditioning, speed, agility, and then we'll get it, cranked up like everybody else the first week there in August.
Tell me about your schedule this year, who you guys are playing. I know a couple years ago they moved you guys from 2A to 3A. So tell me a little bit about your schedule this year, who you guys are playing. If y'all have a rivalry game that you guys look forward to every year, or anything like that, then just tell me about it.
Well, yeah, like you said, this is be our, I guess, second year back down in 2A, where we definitely feel like we should be and probably will be for the foreseeable future for sure. Non-conference wise, we open up with Magnet Cove and then followed by Parker's Chapel and then go on a long, long road trip up to Mark Tree, which, we feel like those three games, especially with two 3A opponents and then, Mark Tree year in, year out, it's going to be loaded with some speed and talent, gets us ready for the conference season, and we'll take we've got our bye week right there before conference play starts, and get it started with Murfreesboro, which is as you know, the two-time defending district champion. So, we'll get tested right out of the gate there. And, I don't necessarily know top to bottom how every other conference in the state stacks up, but I definitely feel like ours is right there as far as being one of the toughest. I mean, year in, year out, some tradition-rich programs, obviously with Junction City in there, and then, kind of the upswing of Murfreesboro and Derek's is coming off. They were the conference champion in junior high last year, so they're going to be solid. It's just, one of those deals where you better be ready to play every Friday night. I don't necessarily know if there's not any necessarily one team that we're circling or looking forward to. Right now, we're just focused on the Gurdon Go Devils, and we know every Friday night's going to be tough.
Yeah, so I played for one of your former players, Coach Whitson. He was, and every time we would do something, he would always have a comment about how great Gurdon was. He loved being a part of that town and that program. So tell me a little bit about what that program is like, how you get community support for that program, and what the Friday Night Lights are like in Gurdon.
Gotcha. Well, it is a great small town environment for high school football. Definitely feel like whether you're talking about football or any other of the sports, our facilities are just right there at the top of the classification, and just a lot of pride. It's a I say unique. I don't know that it's unique. We've never won a state championship, which is obviously on a lot of people's minds, myself included, and every player that comes through there, just like it was for Coach Whitson and Parker, who did a great job for us, and just knocking on the door different years. It's just, everything didn't align right. But we're going to keep working every single day, and one day it's going to happen. But just a great small town that cares about the school, cares about Go Devil athletics, and I like a lot of small towns in Arkansas, and that's kind of what uh, I value so much or think is so great about 2A football. I mean, you go to these different towns, whether it's in Gurdon or go on the road somewhere, and you're probably looking at 75 to 80% of the population that's in the stands on any given Friday night. Just makes it a little bit more special, in my opinion.
Talk to me about what you guys are going to be doing on offense and defense this year as far as X's and O's go.
Well, defensively, we've got different packages that we'll run depending on who we're playing. But we're a 4-3 cover 2 team. I mean, that's what we have been ever since I've been there 14 years, I guess. Now, we'll have to adjust every now and then. And honestly, this may be a year that we have to adjust and look at a little bit more odd front stuff because we are a 2A football team, and we're at the mercy of the roster, and the roster is going to change every year, and the roster changes every time somebody sprains an ankle or breaks an arm. But we're a 4-3 team, and that's what we want to be, built around our middle linebacker, and we feel like we've got a good one this year. But offensively, we will adapt and change offensively more than we ever will defensively. I just kind of believe defensively you can't week to week, year to year really change your principles and your structure and be any good at all on defense. Offensively, it's a little bit different. We are a wishbone football team, but that's changes by personnel, so to speak. And we'll break the bone. We'll get in some gun, getting some two detached stuff. Got a sophomore quarterback that's a little bit more of a runner than we've been accustomed to the last couple of years. So a lot of that's going to be geared towards him. But our base is going to be built around a wishbone, running the ball right at you, and playing 4-3 defense.
Tell me about the senior class that you guys have this year.
Well, it's a group, in 2A ball, you're going last year, I think we had 11. A couple years ago, we had when Parker was there, I think they had a big group of 13. We've had a group of 3 before. It just kind of goes up and down. This is a smaller class, 6 seniors. Um, 1 or 2 just have kind of joined us here lately. I think there's only 3. I know there's only 3 that have been what we so-called 6-year seniors, meaning they came in the door excuse me, August of their 7th grade year and have been with us all the way through. And then one, Uriah, who's here with us today, he was there in 7th grade, moved to Texas, and came back. So we kind of treat him as a 6-year senior as well. But they're good football players, those 6. But more importantly, they're good young men, and they're going to show up to work and do exactly what they're supposed to every single day, which is, we know it's going to help us on Friday nights this year, but more importantly, it's going to benefit them the next 40 years of their life.
Talk to me a little bit more about that, about how you guys use football to mold your players into better young men.
Well, and that's, we try to tell them that from the time they come into 7th grade. a normal seventh grader. I don't know how much it sticks. Probably goes in one ear and out the other. But in the 6 years we have you. Um, Hopefully we can teach you to be a better football player, but if that's all we taught you, then we failed as coaches. And there's different avenues, different ways we do it from a we have different periods. It changes whether we're in season or off season or preseason as far as when we have champions talk, just a little snippet, 5-minute deal. We may bring in a guest speaker. It may be a different coach speaking, different devotionals, things we do with our guys, just hopefully putting some life skills and life values that are going to benefit them in their mind, that they'll use the rest of their life. Like I said, we all want to win football games, and that's why we're here, and it's absolutely important to me and everybody in our community and all of our players. But there's going to be life after football, and you're going to hang your cleats up at some point in time. And hopefully, we're putting out some good young men, good husbands and fathers in the community for the rest of their lives.
Tell me what would be a successful season for the Go Devils this year.
Well, our goals don't change. And we'll sit down at the beginning of the year and the deal we call Night of Champions, and this year's senior class and this year's team will define what their individual goals are, what they want to be known for. But as far as our program team goals, they don't change. I mean, and they've been the same for 14 years, and they're not going to change. I mean, it's going to go 1-0, be undefeated at home, win a district championship, practice on Thanksgiving morning, and win a state championship. Like I touched on before, that last one's never been done. We've done the first four plenty of times, but the last one's never been done. But I don't know. You call me crazy, but if we're playing and practicing and working our tails off all year, I mean, that final goal is going to be to win the state championship. That's not going to go up and down based on talent. But this year's group, will have to define what they want to be known for. I guess a little bit. Um, in my mind and our coaches and our players will know what this means. The normal fan won't, as far as just being able to get back to true Gurdon Go Devil football. And we've swayed a little bit from that here the last couple of years for different reasons, injuries, this and that, but just tough, hard-nosed, physical, pride-filled football. I mean, just Gurdon football, what we've been accustomed to and our fans have been accustomed to, and are ready to get back to it.
Okay, go ahead and introduce the players that you brought with you today.
All right, I got two of our seniors, one being Andres Camarillo. He's one of those 6-year seniors, like I said, that came in seventh grade, been with us ever since. He'll be a 3-year starter at safety for us. Spot plays on offense, could probably play 3 or 4 different positions, whether it's running back, tight end, or split end. Um, and Uriah Gatlin, as I mentioned earlier, he was there with us as a seventh grader, moved to Texas for a couple years, came back last year, had a good junior year, has really exploded in the weight room. So we're looking forward to what he can do for his senior year, and he's a linebacker running back for us. So Andres Camarillo and Uriah Gatlin.
All right. Thank you, Coach. All right, guys. If you would, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
All right. I'm Andreas Camarillo. Played football since I was in the 6th grade. Uh, I love the sport. Love coming to work out with my friends, and just you know, get the goal of winning a state championship.
Mm. My name is Uriah Gatlin. I've been playing football since I was 7. I started off with tackle football. It's just something I've loved since I was young. I've grew up in a household just strictly football. And it just grew on me. And it's just life now. It's really just a lifestyle.
Tell me about what it's like playing for Coach Jackson.
Uh, I love it. It's great. He's a great coach. Over the years, you know, he'll be hard on you, but he just wants you to be a great player and a better man.
Kind of on what Andreas touched on. Yeah, he's a very good coach. He's always going to be hard on you, but that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, we're a 2A school. We're trying to go to state championship, so of course he's going to be hard on you because he wants you to work as hard and he believes in us. So it's just it's how it is. But yeah, he's a good coach.
Tell me about what it's like playing for a city like Garden and what that community is like from the players' perspective.
It's amazing the community, very supportive. They just love to just be there and just watch us play, even if we lose or win. It's really it's just a good community, honestly. Very comfortable community, welcoming. Just good to be in the community.
Yeah, like our Coach Jackson used to tell us that like we're like the role model. We're like the Dallas Cowboys, like to the kids and like the fans, you know. And then the atmosphere, it's great, you know. When it's usually like a night game, the lights turn out, Hell's Bells plays, and like you just feel it. The adrenaline's pumping, and you're just ready to go play.
Talk to me about your schedule this year. Are there any teams that you guys are really looking forward to playing?
I'm looking forward to play everybody because I want to do better than what we did last year. So honestly, I'm looking forward to play everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Play everyone and hope, man, just like go undefeated and like go win the state championship.
Mhm.
Tell me about what you guys are excited about this team specifically. Just you guys think you're going to have a high scoring offense or a really physical defense? Just tell me about what you guys think is really special about this football team.
Uh, I would like both, like a high scoring offense and a defense. You know, I like defense a lot because you know you're out there. We have just a physical defense. We have a good Mike, good linebackers. You know, I mean young defense, but like I think we're really good. And then offensively, you know, more of a I'm gonna touch on what Coach Jackson said. You know, we have a young quarterback and then just young offensive line, but I feel like we can get through it.
Um, Tell me about you guys being seniors, what your leadership role is on the team.
Verbal, being just a verbal leader and just being able to being able to relate to all the younger guys. Because they're going through stuff that we've been through. So it's just being very verbal and just being able to connect with them and just help them overall just be better players.
Yeah, just be a leader to them. You know, like help them out, um, like give them rides up there. Uh, yeah.
Um, Tell me what a successful season would be for the Gurdon Go Devils this year.
Exactly what Coach Jackson said. Exactly.
Go undefeated. Win the state championship.
So, guys, thank you for coming down here and talking to us today. Really appreciate talking to you guys. Is there anything else you want to say about your program before we send you off here?
It's a great program.
Very great program.
All right. Well, we just had a great interview with the Gurdon Go Devils, Coach Jackson, and a couple of his really talented football players here. We're going to have Ashdown in next, correct? And Brad Caldwell will be stepping back in for that one. Want to thank Cornerstone Roofing and Harp's Hometown Fresh for sponsoring this hometown sports football preview today. We'll be right back after this commercial break on the Arkansas Sports Network.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
Hello and welcome back as we are giving you more high school football previews from across the state of Arkansas. We're live here at the Hot Springs Convention Center. We're glad to have you along. We've got Coach Eric McCaslin of Ashdown. Appreciate you coming in here and talking with us today about your team, and excited to get there. But before we get there, real quick, we want to make sure we thank Cornerstone Roofing and Construction. Make sure you call Alton Irwin at 870-215-3548 if you have any roofing or construction needs. And then also we want to say thank you to Harps. They are hometown fresh. With that being said, we are going to get to the Ashdown Panthers. And, man, excited to have you guys in here. We know the tradition that the Ashdown Panthers have, and we also know that you guys always have your hands full Friday in and Friday out, right?
Yes, sir. Being in the 7-4A, that conference, always historically been one of the best ones as far as competition wise in the state, and it still holds true today. There's a few names that have been moved out, but it's still a tough conference to be in.
Oh yeah, it is. That especially that top of that conference is
Oh yeah.
brutal. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
Arkadelphia, Arkadelphia, Nashville, and Malvern are
Yes, sir.
those top three. And just looking right here, you're three in a row there. I
Yes,
feel like
sir.
there was another team that had them as well as three in a row. And I think when I look at that and I think about 4A football, I think there's not a tougher three in a row in the state of Arkansas.
Yes, sir. We call it the gauntlet.
Yeah.
But it's also a measuring stick for us every year. If you're going to win state, you're going to have to go through those three
Right.
anyway. So we can see it as a challenge. I've told the boys since we got there, that'll be the weeks that we'll decide if we're really competitors or if we're just pretenders. So it helps us to get a little bit better before we get to those playoffs because, of course, by the time you get to that
Right.
first round, you want to be playing your best ball.
Well, and I'm looking here in the playoff game. You guys lost 10-7
Yes,
in
sir.
that game, and we saw Highland last year. Highland's a good football team.
Yes, sir.
And you guys went to Highland. Were you a 4?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You were a
We're
4.
the 4.
So you were a 4 seed. You were 5-5 coming into that. You were 4-3 in the conference. Highland was a team that we ranked them up there 7-8 throughout the season, and you guys went up there and almost pulled one off.
Yes, sir. Actually, we didn't give up an offensive touchdown that game. The score that beat us was because of a blocked punt, and they ended up scoring on a scoop and score there. Other than that, defense played lights out. We lost our starting left guard that week. He got sick that morning and ended up not coming, so trying to next guy up and stuff like that. But of course, you get there, we had some continuity with that line, and so that kind of messed up some things offensively. But man, kids played lights out. It was a great experience for a lot of these guys that's never been in that situation as a leader on that team. They had been to those situations, but they were always the young guys. So getting that experience last year, I think, helps catapult us into this year for those guys to understand what it means, how to be that senior leader. And now with this group of seniors, even though there's a few of them, we ain't that big as far as the numbers wise, but these guys are ready to go to be those leaders that we need.
Yeah. Tell me what you got coming back from that team from last year.
Coming back from that team, we lost 2 offensive linemen from the starters that year, and then we lost 2 receivers. Other than that, everyone's back. We got a lot of young pieces that are going to come up from that 9th grade class that are now 10th graders that are going to be able to help us. We've been hitting the weight room hard to get these guys on the size to be able to play with the Malverns, the Nashvilles, and the Arkadelphia. Numbers will still be about 32 is what we'll have, but out of those 32, we've been having 28 show up constantly all summer long. And so looking forward to really seeing what these guys with the dedication they have can do this year. And I think we'll make a lot more noise than what some people probably think we will.
Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit about what a Friday night in Ashdown's like.
Man, town's pretty well shut down. That town breeds football. Baseball, I know, we just won state in baseball, but it's still a football town. The business is closed. People come out. The support there is great. We've got a little area where they do tailgating and stuff like that, pregame and stuff. So it gives you a little bit of an atmosphere when you first show up. Everybody's in their purple, so it's a nice vibe. The kids are all showing up from school, and that's the big thing. These kids, they want to see their classmates out there supporting them. Of course, they want their family and
Right.
friends, but those classmates being out there change a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things, and that's one of the things we have at Ashdown. You get a lot of the student support from
You
the
got an
student
atmosphere.
population. Yes, sir,
I
absolutely,
love
man.
it. I love it. There's nothing better than Friday night in Arkansas,
Oh
man.
no,
They really,
nothing better.
we've been across the state now for 5 years, and I mean, you just go and you see these different towns and how they rally around these teams, and man, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, really, it's probably the most special thing of what we do here at the Arkansas Sports Network. Uh, Tell me about just. I know you got two here, but tell me about some of these other kids that aren't going to talk. Tell me about some of those players.
Yes, sir. Well, Frederick Hunter, one of our offensive linemen, he's coming back from last year. He's one of our starters from last year. He benches over 300, squats about 425. So I'm looking forward to him having a breakout year. Last year, them switching systems from what they had been doing with the gun tee, downhill with the buck sweep and stuff, and then us going to more spread, GT counter, pass setting a lot with my air raid offense and stuff. They had a big transition. I think the biggest thing over this year up and through this summer that we've learned a lot of technical ways
Right.
that we need to handle things now that they didn't know before. So with Fred, Luke Gill at linebacker, he's going to be another one that's really learned how to read guards, playing downhill. Um, we got Cason Scott moving up from junior high. He's going to be a 10th grader. So him stepping in, being able to play on the O line for us at center has really helped us out. That's one we lost last year as far as a
Mm-hmm.
senior. So that's going to help us out tremendously. Couple running backs, couple of other defenders. Logan Irwin, another 10th grader that's going to be there next year. My oldest son, Tyler, he's going to be up there with us at receiver. So they're making big strides. And I think a lot of that comes from the sacrifice. They gave up their summers. They didn't go on vacations. They didn't leave. They came every day that we started. Because, like I said, us winning state and baseball pushes spring football out the window. So our spring football was in June. And so these guys showing up has really been important for us to get prepared. And I can't tell you how proud I am from that. Just from one year to the next, year two, seeing the difference in the sacrifice in the summer, it's been the best thing for me as a coach.
I feel like you've got to have that, especially when you know who you got to play and you know what they're
Yeah.
doing. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
right up the road there at Arkadelphia. They're not taking any. If you don't show up, you don't play, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, I got to tell them all the time, no matter who they put in my seat, coaches don't make programs, players do.
That's right.
So it's these boys' decision on how they're going to handle things, what their decisions are, and their sacrifice is what's going to determine if we're a good program. And I'm no blind eye to that. I don't give myself credit for that. They'll tell you it's all on them. And I said that's a good place and a bad place to be because now that's kids having to hold themselves accountable and kind of
Correct.
step up. But
Mm-hmm.
I know one day all these boys are going to be men one day, and that means something to me. So for them to be able to hold themselves accountable, hold each other accountable for a common goal, I think that's the biggest thing we can do down here at Ashdown.
Last thing, and I'm going to get the kids in here. You
Yes, sir.
said you felt like that you're going to surprise people,
Yes,
and
sir.
I know hard work, dedication. I get all of that. When we talk to people, they say a lot of the same things.
Absolutely.
Of course, you're in a position now, just like everybody else is. You hadn't lost a game
Yes, sir.
yet. But tell me what really what is it sticks out to you that says this is going to be a better year.
I think it's the focus on the discipline side. And the biggest word, I think, is the biggest challenge for all of us in the world is consistency.
Right.
They're consistent with what they're doing. It's every day. We lift weights 5 days a week, and it's non-negotiable. And they've bought into that. They
Yeah.
show up every day for those weights. When we get in season, we're lifting on Sundays, and it's all heavy. We're 80% and above their maxes. We're getting stronger every day. that paying off into the discipline carries over into our plays. So now, whenever you've got to pick this up, you're used to being consistent.
Right.
So there's no brain farts, there's no
Right.
lapse in judgment. We understand what we're supposed to do. We can pick up blitzes, stunts, anything like that because we're working on the discipline of just showing up every day, being on time, being dressed, putting your clothes in your locker the right way. So I think those are the common factors that we have this year that we didn't have so much last year that's going to build into us making a little more noise or being competitive in some more games than what
Sure.
people think, especially when you look at our sideline, you think, well, they ain't got nobody else over there. Yeah, but those 33, 32 that are over there, they've paid the price to be here.
Yeah. Well, last time I checked, you only put 11 on each side, right?
Every time, biggest problem with numbers is practices. That's be the
Right.
only place it affects you. And if you got that many that are going, then you won't be affected.
All right. Tell me who you got here.
I got quarterback, safety, Miss Do It All, Riley Williamson. And then I got Colton Rowe, who's played linebacker, D line, O line. Shoot, he'll kick if we need him to. So
Okay. I
those
love it.
two, man, great leaders, really taking reign. They're the ones that lead by example. Some of the biggest reason why, like I said, there's been such a change here at Ashdown,
Yeah.
especially in the weight room, is because of these kids. And these are two of my best ones. So
Nice. All right.
these
Well,
guys right here, I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
all right. Bring them in.
Yes, sir. Come
All
on.
right. Aaron, I'm going to send this to you just for after you get these guys' names up here. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I just sent you the wrong one, by the way. Let's see here. Well, you know what? I thought I had it. I do have it. Sorry, guys. We're doing live production right here. You're seeing how this thing goes down every day, right? That behind the scenes in front of the camera. That's in front. Unfortunately, that's what happens with us sometimes. All right, I'm sending you Lakeside right now so that we can get them in here in just a second. So let me send that, and I'm going to talk to these boys. All right, guys. Quarterback. Spread offense. Quarterback has a lot of responsibility. You gotta get them in the right spots. You got to make the right reads. You're putting somebody in peril, and you got to make the right decision on what to do with that guy. So tell me, what's it like playing quarterback at Ashdown?
It's just a part of leadership. You got to take control, and it's just you got to be there, and you got to read it right, and you got to be a leader. So
Yeah, you got to know what everybody's doing, right? I
yes,
mean,
sir.
it's not just knowing what you're doing; it's knowing what the offensive line is doing. It's knowing what the running back's supposed to do. It's knowing that, hey, this play is going to this way, but we got a blitz coming on this side, and what do we got to do with this? So, and I know that offense has gotten a lot more complex than when I played in school. When I played in school, the quarterback said down, said hut, hand off, right?
Yes,
It's different now, right?
yes, sir.
Well, you're a talker. You're a talker. What about you? You going to talk a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about your position and what you do.
So I'm kind of like a utility O lineman. Wherever they need me, I'll play there. I love playing guard the most. I can
Okay.
really hit people,
Yeah.
but I'll snap it. I'll play tackle
Yeah.
wherever I need to play.
Well, I heard him mention GT counter. You like running GT counter?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Get out there, get a chance to pull and knock somebody in the dirt, right?
Yes, sir.
You got to have that mentality as an offensive lineman, right? I mean, I don't want to say kill or be killed, but it's kind of that way,
For
right? I mean,
sure.
you got to go out there and you got to fight every play, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it is you've got to be the one that wins. If you don't win, your team don't win. And I've said it many times already in this thing. If you don't have an offensive line, you don't have anything on
For
offense.
sure. Yes, sir.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Do you take care of your offensive linemen?
Uh,
You
Set them
know,
straight.
in the NFL, they buy 'em cars and all that. Do you do that?
I don't have that much money.
You better take them to the local barbecue place maybe one day, right? What's it like playing at Ashdown on Friday night?
It's fun. The whole town is there supporting. It's definitely one night. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's an awesome atmosphere. I mean, it's a blast. I mean, you spend baseball is always good at Ashdown, so you
Yeah.
have a lot of fun, but you can't replicate a Friday night at Ashdown. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing like it.
So we love all the sports. I mean, I'll tell you what, we love basketball a lot here. We really do. I mean, we go to the state tournament and we set up. We do 28 games in 6 days or 5 days, and I mean, we love doing basketball. But we also know that when in Arkansas, it's about football on Friday night. Well, really all year long, but this state revolves around football. It
Yes,
really
sir.
does, and it's important to people to be good in football. And so I know that it's important down there. I know that y'all have had some really good teams and some tradition. What does that mean to you, the tradition of Ashdown football?
I think it's a standard. I mean, you can't have a bad season. It's not acceptable in
Right.
Ashdown. You're gonna make the playoffs, and then at that you got to keep going. And if not, then someone's gonna be in trouble.
Right. And it's not like you play a bunch of cupcakes, right? I mean,
Not
y'all
at
y'all
all.
y'all play some tough teams, and you're also in this position, and I find it unique. You're a school that plays 4A football, but 3A everything else, and in that I've not seen one team to come in here that plays 4A that is in a better position to play 4A, and it makes sense, right? If you're playing 4A and you're playing 3A, everything else, the football team is at the disadvantage. Now, I'm not here to criticize AAA. Y'all can do that if you want to. I'm not trying to do that. But what I am saying, it just kind of is what it is, right? You know that it's going to be a little tougher on the football team than it is on the baseball team or on the basketball team. And look, we know that 3A can play basketball and we know 3A can play baseball and all that. We're around that and we love them. Just saying, 4A is a step up, just like 5A is a step up, 6A and all that. So anyway, we know that what the position that you guys are in, but doesn't matter. Friday night you got to line it up, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Last thing for you before we get Hot Springs Lakeside in here, it will be a successful season at Ashdown
If we keep working and we just put the time in and everybody shows up, it'll go right. Yeah, just to piggyback, I think if everyone finally buys into the program and accepts it takes what it takes. It takes every day doing the little things right, from getting your clothes out of the dirty clothes hamper, to practicing your sprints at the end. And I mean, you just kind of, if we can get everybody to buy into that, do the little things right, we'll have a great season.
All right. Ashdown Panthers joining us here on the Arkansas Sports Network, our preseason preview. And we want to say thank you guys for joining us. And thank you, Coach McCaslin, for coming up here and talking with us about Ashdown football. We're looking forward to seeing what you guys do.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. Again, we want to thank Cornerstone Roofing and Construction. Call Alton Irwin at 870-215-3548. And also, we want to thank Harps for being a regional sponsor with us and all the local sponsors that have joined us. And also, before we go to break, we want to encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you let us know in the comments who you're watching, who's your favorite team. Cheer on these guys. I know they'd love to see it. Anyway, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Hot Springs Lakeside in just a moment.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
Well, we want to welcome the Hot Springs Lakeside Rams in here today. This is a school I can say we haven't had a lot of connection with, so it's good. It's good to be with you today. I know
Yes,
that
sir.
I think it was, 2022. I think we did some basketball in the 5A state tournament. I think that's about as far as it's went with Hot Springs Lakeside. So it's good to have Coach Garen Rockwell here of Hot Springs Lakeside. And, well, Coach, I know you got to be excited. I know that when it gets down to this time of year, when we get into July, football fans start looking forward to football. But I know as a coach, it's just got to be just that much more exciting.
Yeah, I told the guys this morning when it starts getting hot, that means it's getting closer to football season, man. So, and I love it. We got out there. Of course, if anybody was outside this morning, it was humid as heck out there. So,
Right.
so we all drenched in sweat, and the only thing that means when you're drenched in sweat, man, it's almost football season. So, for me as a coach, I'm excited. We've had some success the last couple of years, and each year is different, man. So I wish today was August 1st, so I can go ahead and see how good we really are and get going.
Well, that is something we are talking to you guys, and I've thought about this as the week has went on that we're talking to you guys now, and it's great because I feel the optimism. Everybody comes in, nobody's lost a football game, nobody has gotten injured, at least shouldn't have, or
Right,
mostly.
right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's just there hadn't been any parents screaming out of the stands. There hadn't been anything bad really going on. It's been all mainly positive. Of course, we know that when the season starts, things are going to change. But
Hmm.
what I love the optimism. But my thought process was this: is that right now most teams don't know exactly who they are, but by the time they get to the season, get closer to the season, you understand a little bit more.
Mm. And to me, and of course, I'm still a young head coach in this game, but that's what makes coaching fun, and especially in high school sports. In professional and college, I coached college at Arkansas Tech. Go Wonder Boys. I saw the
I'm with you,
sponsorship there.
man. I'm with
I
you.
met my
Yeah,
wife there and everything, so fight on.
yeah.
But when I was coaching college, man, you always knew um, what you had coming back, and if you didn't, you go to a JUCO or somewhere and you recruit and get it. In high school, man, you really don't. You have an idea, but you don't
Right,
know
right.
until that first game. And our first game, benefit game, is against Nashville. So, I'm chomping at the bit to get to that. I wish it was already here because I want to see what we got, and that's just the coaching side of me. But as far as to go back to your original question, yeah, man, that's high school sports. You just don't know what you got until you get to work, and here at Lakeside, man, we try to work it every day. So.
There was something else that somebody told me or said during this week is, football is a team or a sport now, especially here in Arkansas, that has grown, and a lot of the growth has come into coaching, and a lot of that growth comes from just the fact that you're not going to outcoach very many coaches on Friday night, right?
Right.
So what it boils down to, really, what football boils down to, a lot of ways, is how we can execute our game plan, how we can exploit what we feel like are advantages for ourselves, and then the biggest thing though is really what we're talking about right now, off season. Let's get stronger.
Right.
Let's
Right.
get faster. Let's
Mhm.
understand what we do more inside and out. And I think that's what makes success in football
Mhm.
because the coaching is so good.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right about that. You know, it's no more back in the days of like hiding film from coaches and stuff like that. You know,
Right?
everything is on YouTube, and of course we got digital with Huddle and other football film
Right.
platforms. But you know, I honestly, it's to kind of piggyback off what you're saying. You know, I grew up in Texas, won the Texas State Championship, and I 100% believe that high school kids win state championships, not coaches.
Right.
Like that whole deal about, you know, if I go to this school and play for this coach, I'm going to win. No, not in high school. High school is about a group of young men in a town that grew up together or somebody moved into the town and they all got together and say, we're going to work hard in the off season. We're going to stay committed to each other, hold each other accountable, and we're going to go win. And that's what high school sports should always be about. A group of young men deciding in a town that they grew up in or been playing football forever that we want to be the best. And let them go out and try to get it. You as the coach, you put them in the right position to be successful. And then if they can come together and build that camaraderie and togetherness, then the sky's the limit for them. But high school sports are won by young men, not by coaches.
Community. I
Yeah.
know we say communities and we talk about, and I'll ask you here in a minute about the Friday night atmosphere, but it's creating a community inside of that field house
Hmm.
of people that are pulling together in the right direction. Everybody is pulling together. And if you're not pulling together, you need to get out.
Yeah, there you go. You hit it right on top of the head,
Yeah.
man. If you don't want to give it the program, you might have to get on because you holding on, or the better word is you holding back a group of young men that really want to do something that you're not a part of or not connected to. So move out the way respectfully, no hard feelings, but
Right.
it's football season, baby. So,
Coach, you had a great season last year. I mean, I'm looking at your schedule here.
mhm,
Wins over Lake Hamilton, Sheridan.
mhm.
You lost to Robinson, but you avenged that loss later on in the year. Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's correct. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And
Hmm.
then you beat Camden Fairview. I mean, y'all won several games in a row.
Hmm.
And that Parkview game, 38-12, man, that's probably as close as about anybody played them.
Hmm.
And so then I look down here at the playoffs here. Y'all went to Farmington and lost
Hmm.
59-55
Hmm.
to the team that ended up in the state championship game.
Hmm. Yeah, last year, man, it was a good season. Anytime you can get 10 wins in a season, that's great. I don't care what level you're on. So, 10 wins was great. But as great as our season was last year, we've been talking about this in the off season every day. Uh, we dropped the ball at Farmington, and I say it all starts with me as the head coach. I dropped the ball, and we should have sealed the deal and you know, thank those seniors for 10 wins and all the great things that they did last year. But as we said in the beginning, it's a new season, man, and we got a new group of guys that's just jumping at the bit to get back out there and see what they got for one more year.
So you got a group of four out here, but
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll let them talk. But I'd like to know about who else is that you're looking at. Who should the Arkansas Sports Network be watching for down the line here that maybe it's not here that can play for Hot Springs Lakeside?
We'll start offensively first. The first name that comes to mind for me is Drew Morgan. And he's a guy that came on last year. He's a big baseball guy now. He's a big baseball guy, but we convinced him to play football and had a phenomenal year. Played slot receiver. Also was a punt returner for us. I think it was in the playoff game. He touched the ball like 5 straight plays and then wound up scoring a touchdown. So against Nettleton. So Drew Morgan definitely is one that y'all need to keep an eye on. So he's really good. AJ Burns had a really really good year last year. Got played with a couple of injuries here in the off season and last season, but we expecting him to be good. Those two guys play receiver. AJ plays the outside. Drew plays the slot. So. Uh, and then, last year we lost a really, really good running back in Grady Oldman. So our running back position is one that I know everybody, especially in our conference, want to see who's going to play that position. But we got a bunch of guys there: Pete Oldman, Tremendous Kane. So those guys are really trying to win them a spot there. And those are the guys offensively that we like and that you got to kind of watch for. Defensively. Chris Ford, he plays safety for us, strong side safety. Luke Wrobleski, he's another safety. Really, really good kid. Works really hard. Got a couple of offers already here in the state of Arkansas. So he's another good one. Matthew Miller played with injury, tore his ACL the first dang play. He got in on defense against Lake Hamilton.
Man.
But he worked really hard, man. Lost about 40 pounds, man. He's gotten strong in the off season, so we expect to see big things out of him. He's a big offensive defensive lineman for us. So, and the last two I'll talk about is Cannon Martin, inside backer, and Declan McKinney, outside backer. Those two guys on the defense got to come on big for us.
All right. Well, we got 4 here that we're going to talk to from Lakeside. And first, I've got Wally Walcott, your senior quarterback,
Yes, sir.
and Tucker Young, left tackle. Tell us a little bit about those two guys.
Wally, of course, he's playing the position everybody wants to play, even myself. Of course, I don't look like a quarterback. I'm still sexy, but I don't look like a quarterback. But he's playing the position every young man wishes to
Right.
play, and he's the 4th leading passer in the state of Arkansas last year. And so he Wally, my quarterbacks, if you've seen them since I started, the first one was a little speed demon that could throw the ball a little bit. Wally's strength is in his arm and his mind, so he does a really good job of studying film and then putting the ball in the right place. My big hog, Tucker Young, man, he's going to go play football at the University of Arkansas. He plays left tackle for us. I'm gonna tell you this about Tucker Young. When I first got here, he got hurt in fall camp. Okay, Matthew Miller hurt his leg.
Oh, man.
He was out for 3 games, and then when he came back, we were able to run the football, and that was when he was a sophomore. So now, now that he's a senior, we definitely put our weight behind him.
All right. I'm going to let you talk about these two because you won't get a chance to introduce them. Jagger Jansky and Jonathan Prather.
Jagger Jansky, he has an offer also with Hendricks. So Jagger worked his way from the scout team to starting guard, and so you gotta love that. That's a story every coach wants to tell. So he busted his butt in scout team practice. We noticed him on film, and now he's senior starter. Jonathan Prather, he's a receiver as his sophomore year that couldn't catch a cold. And I watched him every night after practice find anybody that would stay with him to throw and catch the ball. And now he's going to be a starting receiver for us.
I love it. That's great stories. We'll talk to them about that.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go ahead and get Wally and Tucker in here right now.
Oh.
All right. Coach, thank you for joining us. All right. Well, I don't have to ask who's Wally and who's Tucker. That's for sure. Make sure y'all got those mics right there close to your mouth there. That way we can hear you coming through loud and clear. Hot Springs Lakeside. Now, are you a returning starter? Well, you are. Yeah, you had to be because you were a or the 4th leading passer in the state. That's something. I mean, the state of Arkansas, they air it out now. I mean, back in the day, the 4th leading passer might have 400 yards on the year, but now, I mean, that's an accomplishment.
It is. Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the offense that you guys run that allows you to become that guy.
We run a spread offense, unlike Lake Hamilton or anybody else we really play. Trusting my coaches for like our game plans going into the
Sure.
games. Trust Tucker, Jagger, like blindside.
Mm-hmm.
Trust my whole O-line, people working. Trust my wide receivers. Build that connection every day.
Yeah.
I know everyone on the team, friends. We hang out with each other. We just trust each other with what we're going to do, our game plans, and go on with that.
All right, Tucker. You look like you're from Scandinavia, man. You're a
Yes, sir.
you look like a big Viking,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like I feel like you might come from the Brock Lesnar tree or something like
yeah.
that. Tell me a little bit about playing offensive line at Lakeside.
Oh, it's great. We have a great chemistry on the offensive line, and we're always ready to run the ball up your gut and ready to pass block. So
I think we'll be good this year.
Well, I think it was quite a compliment when he said that you got hurt and then you came back, and he said we could run the football at that point.
Yes, sir.
Now you're a Razorback commitment, right?
Yes,
You,
sir.
you're committed to Sam Pittman, who's an offensive line guy,
Yeah.
right? What went into that thought process?
Well, I know that he coached at Georgia, and Georgia's one of the best all-around schools in football history. So he's definitely one of the best offensive line coaches ever, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
And then Coach Mateo's the offensive line coach there right now. He's really good too. So them combined just helped a lot.
And give you a chance to possibly get to the league at some point,
For
right?
sure, for sure.
Man, I'll tell you what. That's when we planned this out. This is one part of it that I really didn't expect was, people bringing in commitments. Whether it be we've had Oklahoma State, we've had Miami, we've had Arkansas, we've had SMU, and the thing that I'm impressed with is just the size of you guys. My gosh, man, y'all are
Yeah.
big human beings. Y'all are
Very.
large. Um, Tell us about what it's like playing on Friday night at Lakeside.
Well, we got a whole community around us that supports us. Bunch of fans come out any game, whether it's Parkview, one of our tougher opponents, than to Hope.
Yeah.
That's a little less. Not many people know about them, and they all come out support us, even if we're down at halftime or something. They're still cheering, other than just like going quiet. And then we just trust each other, build each other up, like on a mistake or anything, and
Right.
just keep it rolling and hope to succeed.
What about you? What do you think about playing at Lakeside on Friday night?
Oh, it's great. Like you said, the fans are like awesome. They always show up, support us, and we go into every game just same mindset, ready to go. So it's always exciting.
All right. It will be a successful season at Lakeside
If we just keep working, our off season's going good. If we just keep things rolling, do the little things right, stick together as brothers, and it'll be good.
If we keep staying in the weight room, make sure everybody's on track and everybody's getting along with each other.
That's good. I mean, that's what it's about.
So
Let's go ahead and bring in Jagger and Jonathan. He's going to put you beside me. Again, if you're watching right now and you like what you're hearing, hey, cheer on your team. I know Dana Peoples, I don't know how long ago this was. She was cheering on her son, Dalen. So, uh, huh? That was our first. So, yeah, make sure that you're commenting and letting everybody know you're watching, cheering on your team, Hot Springs Lakeside. All right, guys, Hot Springs Lakeside, you guys had a good year last year. You guys were real close to possibly going to War Memorial, maybe getting that rematch with Parkview. Tell us a little bit about what happened last season. Hold
Man.
on. Let me get that up there for you. There we
Okay,
go.
thank you.
Yeah.
Man, Parkview's a great team. Going to that game, we were trying to, throw the ball more, running up their gut, but they just had all the players, and going into this next game against them, we plan to change up the game plan, I bet.
Yeah. Okay. But what was your season like last year?
Really, it was just like we just all week in practice, we'd watch film for every game, almost every single day. We'd watch practice film. We'd play against like whatever the defense is running, and we just come prepared into every game. And that's throughout our coaches.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like just talking to Coach, I feel like he's got a good grasp on what's going on here. Of course, like I said, we haven't. I honestly, and I'm not just saying this, we haven't interviewed a coach yet that I thought, man, he ain't got it. We've interviewed a bunch of coaches, and man, I tell you what, we've got a lot of good coaches here in the state of Arkansas, and I think y'all got one of them as well. As Hot Springs is in the building, y'all know a little bit about Hot Springs?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Uh, I feel a little awkwardness in here right now. Is there a little rivalry going on? No, maybe, yeah, maybe. Okay. Anyway, I want you to tell me what do you bring to the field for Lakeside?
Um, I think I'm a pretty fast player. I know how to like get around defenders, and I can block well. So I
Okay.
think I can help out the team a lot.
All right, I got to do some production work. Hey, Carson, go ahead and get names for them and text Aaron with that. All right, tell me a little bit about what you bring to the table for Lakeside.
I'm a pulling guard, so I'm a strong run blocker, but I can also pass block too. And then, like, think that my conditioning is really good. Like a lot of D linemen, they second half they start getting tired, and I feel like I'm just able to keep on going.
Yeah, and so conditioning is a big time thing for y'all. Well, I'm going to ask you here, and now you got an audience here to say what you need to say here. So this should be interesting here. It'll be a successful season at Hot Springs
if we keep working and keep putting, doing what we do. I think we got the players to have a successful season,
Yeah.
and we just got to keep doing what we do, keep working.
If we show up every day, not just like half the team, we need everybody there every day. It takes the whole team to win every game, and then we just stick to the game plan every week, and we should be good.
All right, Gina Rockwell says, "Go Rams," and she's got the old blue and yellow. Come on now, you know her, you know a little bit about her. All right. All right, we've got Hot Springs High coming back at you here in just a moment. Appreciate you joining us here on the Arkansas Sports Network preseason preview, Hometown Sports, Volume 2. Again, we want to thank Cornerstone Roofing. Call Alton Irwin at 870-215-3548. And we also want to say thank you to Harps Hometown Fresh for being a part of the sponsorship today. We're going to have just a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Coach Daryl Burnett and the Hot Springs Trojans here in just a moment.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
Hot Springs High with us, Coach Daryl Burnett in here. And I should say Hot Springs World Class High, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's good marketing. I will say that's something because that sticks with me, so I know it sticks with other people too. So
It's kind of long-winded, but it's good.
it works. It works. Sets you apart there. As we were talking, I said room got a little cold in here when Hot Springs walked in. Lakeside was here, and then I looked. You guys playing each other in the last week of the season.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, there's a reason for that.
Yes, sir.
There's
Yes,
a
sir.
reason for that. You guys are rivals, and so that's cool. But anyway, Coach, thank you for joining us here.
No, appreciate you. Appreciate you for having us.
All right, Coach Daryl Burnett here as we're going to talk some Hot Springs High School Trojans here. And, Coach, just tell me a little bit about your team. Tell me a little bit about your program.
Program overall, man, we got a bunch of good kids in our program, and I know this is a high school show, but when you're speaking about our program, I got to give a great shout out to our junior high. I got to give a great shout out to our Pee Wee programs because that's all under one roof. And
Sure.
then the varsity guys, they get all the credit when things go good throughout the season. But good foundation, great coaching staff. My admin is A1, so you know how that is as a head coach. I don't think a lot of people understand your admin and your building principles and everything surrounding you have to be on point. So we got a good thing going in a great location. Everyone is trying to get here. The kids work hard, as you can see. We got some good leaders. Not only they good in the classroom, but they're gonna be good future husbands. I think all these guys right here probably gonna play college football, but they don't need it, which is a good thing. So I'm just glad to be, a coach at Hot Springs, man. I don't think a lot of people really value their jobs. I think everyone is kind of looking for the next one, But I wake up every morning happy to go to work. Tell my wife every day that when I wake up and I don't got those jitters or when we off a dead break and I'm not excited to get back, I'm gonna get out. And I couldn't sleep Sunday because I was ready to get back to it. So it's fun. We're excited. Good 7-on-7 outing. We'll do a team camp Tuesday, but the kids been working out. They probably full. They just got done eating. Coach Sanders cooked for them, so we got a good thing going.
It looks you got some good looking kids here, and just looking at your team here, you guys weren't able to get to the playoffs this year, or last year. So I know that's got to be one of the very top things that you want to do for this year.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it was tough. It was real disappointing. You make it to the playoffs. I think I've been here 7 years, and you make it 4 or 5 years in a row, and then we had a lot of expectations too, which was the first time. We've always been picked fourth or fifth in the conference, and we end up sneaking to second or third. This year they had us ranked as high as number three. I mean, last year they had us ranked as high as number three in the state. Some picked us finished second in the conference behind Parkview, and we didn't do a good job finishing and taking care of business. So now we look at the books; they got us back at fifth. So that's where we'll be, and we'll continue to fight up and try to continue to go for that number one spot, and not just get in the playoffs, but win. And I made a mistake as a head coach of you know, early you just want to get there and then, you start talking about getting out the first round and we got to keep pushing, man. We need to be playing past Thanksgiving. We need to be competing for a state championship. 'Cause we got the talent, We don't got 80 kids like we had last year, but we got some kids that gonna go both ways. We got some guys that can make a lot of plays. We got some guys that got offers. We got a quarterback that can sling it. They can do some things. We got playmakers all around. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get it going.
Looking at your schedule from last year, y'all. I mean, that 5A South is brutal.
Yeah, you gotta love it, huh?
That's brutal. I mean, of course, Parkview just really last 3 years on and I mean even beyond that, they won it the last three, but they've been good for
Yeah.
several years now. When Coach Bolding went over there, and so that's a good group over there. But man, you played Arkadelphia. That was the top team in 4A last year.
Mhm.
You played West Memphis, Alma. I mean, you guys really loaded up a schedule.
Yeah, my uncle, my uncle asked me what was wrong with me. He asked me what was wrong with me when I when I chose this schedule, but that's what you want. And just to be honest with you, some schools that we have reached out to that wanted to play us when I first got here don't want to play you now. So, we was able to pick up West Memphis. Coach Bush was wanting to play us.
Yeah,
Arkadelphia always do. And it's all about making sure you're ready for the playoffs. We did a good job with the scheduling early in the early in my career when I got here, but I don't know if it really got us prepared to when you got to Camden and Lakeside, and
right.
you get to that week, you get to those weeks, we're actually competing for second, third, and fourth for playoff position, and I don't think we was ready, so that's kind of why we changed the schedule, and it's good. It's good to see where you at off top instead of waiting until week 9 and week 10, and you don't really know what type of team you got.
And then you're right in the conference, right at Parkview, right,
Yeah,
right off the bat. We actually did the Parkview game a couple years back. You had a really good team. I mean, they had an all-time team. I
yeah,
mean, I was sitting there and I was calling the game, and they're winning big, and I'm sitting here looking at Hot Springs, and I'm saying, this is a good football team.
yeah.
This is a good football team, and I kept saying it over and over in the broadcast. This is a good football team. I don't know what's happening. Parkview's
They
just different
they
at that time.
they was loaded. I always called them Alabama.
Yeah.
They was bigger, faster, stronger than everybody,
Right.
but those kids was good when they was in the ninth grade, and if everyone watching around the state, they didn't shy away from work. You
Yeah.
can look at their bodies and tell how they look. They put in the work. They ran track.
Yeah.
And I think Arkansas is losing a battle with guys trying to play one sport only. And you
Yeah.
look at some of our best programs around here in Arkansas, you see those kids playing football,
Yeah.
basketball, track, baseball. They doing a whole lot more. So. Um, That'd be our first conference game, but we're ready for it. But our kids been going through that battle since they've been in Pee Wee, and I coached in the 7-4A
Yeah.
when you had all those teams back in the day. I coached in the 5A South when I was at Camden when you had the Pine Bluff teams, and then I coached 7A. So I'm used to competition, man. You can't run from it.
Well, I know you got five here. We'll talk about those guys here in a minute, but let's talk about some of the guys that are not here.
Mhm. Man, we got some seniors that's not here too, and I'm gonna take them some. I'm gonna start out with Big Sean. Sean Amos is one of our defensive tackles that started. This will be his third year. Uh, he's 6'4". I know we look at Big Bron back there, but Sean is 6'4", 6'5", 300. He'll be starting at D tackle and playing offensive tackle as well. You got Jamarcus Morning. He's our 6'2" receiver that made All State. He got offers. You got some guys like Louis and the Gabe, the brothers. They're explosive. They both got offers. They're big time. So we left some guys at home, but it's all about bringing the right ones here, and then we'll take some to the next one. Linebacker position, we got some young guys ready. That's been going good, and that's Javion Johnson. He's probably not the 6'2" linebacker you like. He's right at 5'7", 170, but he a missile and he'll hit you. And then, we got some D-backs that's been playing good. And it's been starting with, Stedman Wiley, who's a junior that played receiver last year. He's been doing real good. We got Tavion Holly. He's a senior. He was our JV quarterback, and he'll be our backup quarterback. He just got back from a broken finger, so he had a good showing Monday. Then we got some young corners that's long and rangy. Donovan Fryston, he's another one that, we talk about how good these kids look. He's probably about 6'3" at corner, so
Hmm.
we got some pieces. And then our biggest thing, we're going to always shout out the O-line and D-line, man. That's where you win the games at, and we got to make sure we take care of those guys because we're nothing without them.
That's right. I mean, no doubt about it. I don't think if you don't know football, you don't realize the offensive line, if you don't have it, you can't win.
Yes, sir.
You can't win, especially against good competition. You
Yeah.
definitely ain't going to win.
Yeah, you're doggone right. You better start running the veer and the triple option.
Right?
Reading someone and pitching off someone.
That's it. That's it. So, tell us who you got here, and who are the first two you got, or does it matter? Okay. All right. We don't have to have an order here. So,
Okay, well, who we brought today? We got Big LeBron Moniker. You know, everybody knows him. He about 6'8", tall. Let's make sure he got some leg room when
right,
he get up here.
right.
We got Robert Blevins returning running back, uh, true warrior. We got Jay Meadows, size 14 click, so he's probably about 6'2" right now, so he ain't done growing. He's an athlete, play outside linebacker, middle linebacker, and a hybrid end. We got Demond Hicks from Louisiana. He's our starting corner receiver. Then we got the guy that's going to lead us, and that's our QB1, Cedric Bishop Allen. You know, he got about 3 or 4 names, but he a playmaker, producer that came and moved in with us. So I'm just glad to have these guys and put the pressure on 'em.
All
They
right.
got to get us back in the playoffs.
All right. All right. Here we go. So, bring the first two in. Tell us who you're bringing in.
I'm gonna break in Demond Hicks and QB1. Let's go.
All right. Damon Hicks and QB1. Nice to meet you guys. I know you. I ca- I think I called your first start against
Yeah.
Walnut Grove, Texas.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah. He did good. They got 56. They lost by 1.
Mhm.
They lost by 1. That was Walnut Grove, Texas. I looked just because I was curious. That was the first year that they played, and then they turned around last year. I think they went 11-2.
Yeah,
So
they was great last
yeah,
year.
yeah, that's pretty good. Oh Lord, we got somebody in here watching. I think it's one of your buddies. I don't know if I need to read some of his comments. I see you, no limit. I'll just say that. That's all I'm gonna go say there. But anyway, tell us a little bit about Hot Springs High and what it's like playing for Coach Daryl Burnett.
Well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's real fun. It's real interesting. You really never know what's gonna come out of Coach B. But I mean, I say it's real tough. It's good football. I mean, I love all the coaches, everybody together. It's like a family for real. And yeah, it's really.
All right.
I transferred from Malvern in the spring. I like the energy. He brings a lot of energy. Kids here great. Everybody want to win. We trying to compete for state, and that's what really brought me here. And it's fun. Like I'm having fun.
So, yeah, again, I know who you are because I called your games for Malvern, or at least one game I did call you for Malvern. So, now what do you bring to the table here at Hot Springs that you had at Malvern? What can you do to help Hot Springs get better?
Uh, well, I'm a pocket passer first, so I'm gonna push the ball downfield, and then if anything go bad, I can hurt people with my legs. Everybody know that. Um, and I'm gonna take command of the offense, get everybody right, put as many points as we can. Feel like
Yeah.
we should average at least 30 points a game. We probably had like one of the best receiving corps in the state, and we got like our running back room is deep, so I don't see nobody really stopping us this year.
That was something that I remembered. I guess it's 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember the wide receivers that you had there. They were phenomenal. They really were. They were phenomenal. I want to know, since I got to get y'all in here, what will make a successful season for Hot Springs this year?
Well, I feel like a successful season at Hot Springs probably be mm, really just everybody just come together. Really, nobody being selfish. Because I feel like we got so many pieces to where we can do like really whatever we want. So I mean, if we all just stay in on it, like if we all in, I mean, ain't nobody selfish. I feel like we can be good. We can go far.
Yeah, what he said, like if everybody all in, we really could be really good this year. Like I feel like this is a state team. Like we go really deep in the playoffs, make a
Facts.
push for state. Uh, and I feel like um we like the underdogs this season. Everybody like last season, it went unexpected, so we got a lot to prove to everybody this year.
So should I even ask? Sometimes we ask Who do you want to beat the most? But I'm sitting in here and Lakeside's in here, and y'all walk in, and I'm thinking the temperature in this room went down about 10 degrees. So I'm thinking that y'all want to beat each other. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
Man, we want to be everybody,
Yeah.
everybody on the schedule.
Yeah, we want to be everybody.
But I mean, I feel like we do got like some key games that we do want to win, like
Right.
Lakeside. Homecoming game always a good one to win. Parkview,
Arkadelphia.
Really everybody. I mean, it's just
That's an early measuring stick. Of course, you come from Malvern, so
Yeah.
you're really about that Arkadelphia game. But
Yeah.
that's being as good as they are, and they are good. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, just because they're 4A, that don't mean you're gonna go in there and beat them. They are good, and so anyway, that's a good test. It's a good place to find out who you are and what you are. I saw you guys have Nashville as well, right off the bat. I guess it's a scrimmage. Is that right? Lake Hamilton. Okay, that's right. That's right. I got you. That's what it was. Anyway, and then you go to West Memphis. Yeah, y'all better
that's a
y'all better y'all better leave on Wednesday on that one. There you go. All right, guys. Tell me about the next two. Who's the next two coming in?
So we got Robert Blevins. I mean, hey, that boy put that work in every day
Hey, a dog.
in the weight room. Him and what I'm saying, you got Jaden Meadows. Both of them, they go hard in the weight room.
All right. Well, let's bring them in. All right. Putting the work in the weight room. I can see that. See that a little bit. What's it like? What's the Hot Springs weight facility, or not facility, but weight training? What's that like there? Y'all hit it hard in the weight room?
Yes, sir. Every day it's really intense. In the weight room, we really make sure we have energy up. Everybody's locked in.
Yeah.
No skipping reps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where everything's made at.
In my opinion, again, because there is talent in Arkansas, and there is such good coaching in Arkansas. In my opinion, that's where it's set apart. In my opinion,
Yes,
when I'm talking, and when I say that, I'm talking about when you draw that line of the teams that are going to make the playoffs. That's where it sets apart. Is that weight room, and I know the very best ones in the state. They've got phenomenal weight training there. And so, anyway, tell me about playing at Hot Springs. What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing. I love playing at Hot Springs. Been playing at Hot Springs since I was a little kid. Been playing ever since Pee Wee. So I feel like it's good. I love the energy, love the coaching. Just
Yeah.
just a great atmosphere to be around.
What's it like on a Friday night playing for the Trojans?
Oh, it's live. It's live. Got all the fans there screaming and yelling, especially when you score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Y'all lights be flickering. So that, yeah.
You got the LEDs, huh? Y'all got that light show going. I like
Yes,
it. I
sir.
like it. Man, we're gonna have to come down and check out Hot Springs, see
Yes,
what's
sir.
going on
Come
over
down.
there. Tell us, what will it be? How do you make? Well, what do you got to do to be successful? What are the team goals for y'all this year?
Definitely make it through the playoffs. Not only that, but just to stay focused through the whole season. Last year, I feel like we lost focus, and that's kind of where everything went downhill because we had a great group, but we also got a good group this year. So I feel like if we just stay focused, and playoffs will be our end goal.
Yep. All right. What about you?
I'd say more leadership, lack of leadership just a little bit last year. So I feel like
Yeah.
if we get more leadership going through, we'd be good.
All right. Let's bring in the last guy in here. Let's talk a little
LeBron
bit.
Boddicker.
LeBron, is that right? LeBron. Is there any Michael Jordans on the team? I again my thing when I see a guy like you, and we've seen several of them, I think, God, I'm glad I don't have to be on the football field anymore. My goodness. I mean, you're a big fella. What's your size? What is it?
6'6", 325.
6'6", 325. Yeah. You getting any looks from anybody? You got to be with that size, right?
Yes, sir. I got 3 offers.
Who you got them from?
UCA, Southern Miss, and UAPB.
Okay. All right. And you're a senior?
Yes, sir.
So are you kind of a guy flying under the radar right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 6'6", 325. What position you play?
I play O tackle and D tackle.
Okay. What's your favorite place to play?
I
Because
love.
I before you say it, I'm gonna tell you, you look like a D tackle to me.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you look like a 3 technique in Division 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Is that where you're at?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay. Tell me about playing against some of the teams you play, because look, you're a big guy, but you play against some big guys. You play. I mean, we just had the guy from Lakeside sitting here. He's committed to Arkansas. He was a big boy. I mean, that's like Clash of the Titans coming in there, man.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about playing in the trenches.
Oh, well, I just transferred from Watson Chapel to here, so I played every team here is new. So yeah, Tucker Young, I think I was dogging him last year. Yeah, I think I was dogging him
Yeah.
last year. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, there you go. Look at him. Look at him. He's like, man, that's the last thing I need. You know they're watching right now. Anyway, yeah, but I mean, while you got to play some of those guys, they got to play you. Tell me what's the strengths of your game?
Well, the strengths of my game, I'm very physical. I'm very strong. I got a lot of energy. I'm very fragile.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a team player.
Are you a different dude in between those lines?
Yes, I like to play a lot and stuff.
There you go.
Personality.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Tell me what it'll be to make a successful season at Hot Springs this year.
We have better teamwork, better, in the weight room, list of the key details and all that. You feel me? Yeah, I think we could be a better team than last year.
Do you see this right here? Look. Do you know that person?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I love it. That's what makes it fun, man. This is what high school football is all about. Anyway, guys, I'm going to say thanks for coming in. Thanks to the Hot Springs Trojans for coming in here and talking with us about their team and their upcoming season. And I believe, if I just caught a glimpse of Mount Ida, if I'm not mistaken, coming in here. So we want to say thanks to Coach Daryl Burnett and his team for telling us about what's going on. And man, y'all got some fans, that's for sure. I'm seeing it. I love it. Anyway, again, we want to thank Cornerstone Roofing and Construction for being a part of this, along with Harps. And we'll take a quick break. We'll get ready. Mount Ida is on deck, and we'll be back in just a moment.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
All right, we're back here on the Arkansas Sports Network. Today, I'm excited here in Hot Springs to be joined by the head football coach of the Mount Ida Lions, Coach Michael White. Coach, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having us. We're really excited to be here.
So, Coach, give me an overview of what's going on with Mount Ida football right now.
Well, we are, of course, in the summer, part of our training. We're going to at least one team camp a week right now, practicing 2 to 3 days a week, maintain our weight room workouts, and just trying to get back in shape and ready for August practice and rolling into season.
Talk to me about what your schedule looks like this year. You guys play in the conference with the defending state champs of the last 2 seasons. So tell me a little bit about what your schedule looks like in non-conference and then moving into conference, what games you are looking forward to.
Okay, we're opening up this year with Junction City. We're playing that game at Ouachita Baptist University. That's going to be a big matchup right out of the gate. That'll definitely see. We'll see where both teams are at that point. Both teams are ranked highly this year. That's going to be a big time matchup. Right out of the gate for us. Then we play Jessville. Don't get any easier there. They're going to be a good 3A school. They've got several guys back. They're big, strong, and that's always a great matchup for us for non-conference. And then we play Bearden at home after that to finish the non-conference. And I think they have several starters back as well. They get to come to Mount Ida, and that will prepare us for going into this tough conference that we play in. Of course, you always highlight Conway Christian, defending state champions, Bigelow, state champions 2 years ago, made a run in the playoffs last year. This conference is, tough. I can go on and on about, Hector's a well-coached team, but this team has several great coaches in it, in my opinion. You have to bring your A game every week. You can't have a letdown. But we're shooting for a conference championship, and it runs through Conway Christian, Bigelow, and I'm sure there's some other teams going to give us a tough matchup. But we have to be prepared and do what we do.
Tell me about what you guys are going to be doing with your X's and O's and your schemes on offense and defense this year.
Defense, we'll still run our 4-3-4-4 look, 4-2-5. Try to do better coverage wise in the secondary. We got to do better there. Quit giving up so many big plays. That's the thing with us. Defensively, we score 35 points, whatever it was in the semifinals of the state last year. We expect to win that football game, but we did not. Of course, we had some injuries and had some guys not full speed as well, but that's no excuses. But we'll continue to do that. Try to put pressure on the quarterback. Try to get after him a little bit. Of course, offensively, we'll maintain our split back veer. It works for us. It fits our kids. Fits the type of athletes we have. Hard-nosed kids that not afraid to run downhill and not afraid of contact, and it fits them well. And they understand the system, and they run it from 3rd grade till they graduate. So we're going to continue to do that.
Tell me about who you guys have lost from last year, and who you guys are bringing back this year.
Okay, we are. Of course, we lost All-State Ben Woodfield, 2,400, set the school record rushing record. Uh, but Ben would tell you, we blocked for him. Our offensive line did a great job last year. Uh, lost Dean Johnson, all conference player. Really, we have 10 or 11 guys that have started at some point in the season last year. So we have lots of returning starters, and that begins with our offensive line. They're all back again, and all 3-year starters and tight ends are 2 or 3-year starters. It starts there. We have depth at quarterback. That could be any of 3 guys: Dakota Beachy, Jackson White, and Kay McCall. We have some packages we can do and do some different things. And our running backs, we have Kaston Fimbongza back at running back. Kane McCall, we've been working him some at running back. But we have some depth with the sophomores moving up that had an undefeated season last year. And I feel real good about who we have coming back and the positions that we are that we have, and the guys that's going to fill them.
Tell me about, you've been at Mount Ida for a long time coaching now. Tell me about that community and what it means to these guys and that town to be under the Friday Night Lights.
It's one of those kind of lost in time places, in my opinion. It's there's a lot of pride in that town around the football program, and that's one of the reasons it's important. That's what somebody turn the lights off. Everybody's going to be at the football field on Friday night. We travel well. We're a school. We have under 400 students, K through 12, right now in our school, and we take people. We go to a away game, and our stands are always full. Sometimes we have more than the home team when we go on the road, and it's just a testament of that program was built, many years ago. I'm just trying to keep it alive and keep it going. Our numbers are actually coming up a little bit from what they've been, so that's a good sign. But that town right there loves it, and the kids feed off of that. They go in the gas station there, football. Somebody's gonna ask them about why didn't you make that tackle or whatever, and but it's just important to the town.
Talk to me about what you guys are doing right now to get prepared for the season, team camps or 7-on-7s, or what you guys do in practices every day. Just give me a little bit about what's going on with that.
Well, we're actually, like I said, we're doing about 2 or 3 days a week of conditioning and in practice, weight training. We usually just hit, with what we do, we hit 1 7-on-7 a summer. The rest of them will go to padded team camps, which those will start next. We had 7-on-7 this past week, and then we'll transition into padded camps. But I really feel like July we have to get our kids in shape, because you don't want to be getting them in shape in August. August, you got to hit the ground. You got to be in shape, ready to roll. So we're using this time to really condition and maintain our strength in the weight room.
Tell me what a successful season would be for the Mount Ida Lions this year.
Well, I'm just going to say it. We expect to win a conference championship. Not so, there's people going to have something to say about that. And we are expecting, if you don't expect to win something, you're not going to, number one. So I'll say that. But we expect to make a way to Little Rock this year. And because we have so many returning stars, so many seniors, this is one of those groups that has come up through Pee Wee's, stayed together, and they feel like it's their time to do it. And they have the tools. I'm not saying we're going to win, but we want to be in Little Rock in December.
Tell me, that'll be the last question for you here, and then I'll bring in your guys. Just tell me a little bit about what you do as coaches, as a coaching staff, to develop these guys, not just as football players, but as young men as well.
Well, here's what I always say. You know, football. It builds character, reveals whatever. But you teach those young men, number one, to show up for work. And what I always say, and whether this people like this or not, there's enough lazy people in this world. I don't care if you're going to be a doctor. I don't care if you're going to lay bricks. I don't care what you do. But, we're trying to make those guys understand what work ethic is. Showing up, be punctual, and, working your tail off because someday your family's going to need that. And you're going to have to take care of more than just yourself at some point. So you've got to learn. But like I said, there's enough. We always tell them there's enough lazy people in this world, and we need more hard workers. And we don't care what you do. We want you to be a successful human being and stay out of trouble, of course.
All right, Coach. We'll go ahead and introduce the two gentlemen you brought with you today.
Okay, I've got Mr. Duncan Standridge, offensive tackle, defensive tackle for us, 3-year starter, and we're looking for some big things out of him this year. He could be a dominant lineman on both sides of the ball in 2A. We have Kane McCullough. Kane has battled some injuries his sophomore and junior year. He's ready to roll this year. And these guys are two of our leaders, senior leaders on our team, and they're going to help guide us to where we want to be.
All right, Coach. We're going to go ahead and hand it over to them. Thank you for coming out and talking to us today.
Thank you very much.
While we are waiting for Kane and Duncan to get in here, we're going to go ahead and say thank you to our sponsors, Bates Sales and Service, and then we've got, does that say Pride Homes and Mountain Lake Real Estate? Is that what that is, Aaron? So Pride Homes and Mountain Lake Real Estate on Lake Ouachita. Thank you very much to those guys as well for coming in and sponsoring the Mount Ida portion of this media day here today. Guys, thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
So I'll be a senior this year, and I played quarterback my 10th grade year till I had injury, and then my junior year came back and played tight end this past year after battling injuries. But this year it's looking like I'll probably play running back. Pretty excited about that, and then linebacker.
I'm gonna be a senior too. I've played with all these guys since ninth grade when I moved up here, but sitting at left tackle and defensive tackle like I've been for years. So we're excited. We're going to be hitting the weight room, hitting the field, ready to go.
Tell me about your schedule this year. You guys had some close games last year that could have gone your way. I know Conway Christian was a big one. Seems like every time that Mount Ida and Conway Christian get together, it's a 1 or 2 point game either way. So, tell me about your schedule this year. Are there any teams that you guys are really itching to get another shot at? And then just tell me if you guys have any rivalry games or anything like that as well that you guys are excited about.
So, starting off with Junction City, we're very excited about that. We didn't get to play them last year. They were a very good team last year. Very excited to play them, especially at OBU. Conway Christian, of course, we'd like to play them again, just with how the game ended last year. And then rivalries, Jessieville. They're non-conference, but they've always been a rival to us, and we're very excited to play them.
As far as those games go, losing's never a great feeling. So getting back at some of those teams that kind of showed us where we really were and showed us what we need to work on, like just respect to those teams, But like Bigelow and Conway Christian, of course, Jessieville again, like he mentioned. But those are, of course, playing Junction City at Ouachita is exciting too. So those games right there will just be the most exciting, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about what you guys think the strengths of your team will be this year.
So this year we have a lot of depth, more depth than we've had in the past years, and that just pushes us to be better in practice, for us to fight for that starting spot. So we've always got somebody pushing each other, and our team pushes each other very well, and that's a strength that we have this year.
Yeah, a lot of these guys coming back. Got a lot of let's say we got a lot of talent and growth from when 2 years ago and bouncing back from some heavy games that we dropped, and just some of these guys that we've worked with some really shown some improvement. So all of us getting back out there, we know what we need to do and how we need to execute, and so that's just the main goal.
Talk to me about what it's like playing under the Friday Night Lights in Mount Ida and what that community does to support you guys.
It's amazing. Our community is very supportive. Couldn't ask for a better community to play for. And playing at Mount Ida, it's different. It's very exciting, and you always know you're supported by our fans and everybody that's coming to watch, and it's truly amazing.
It's a different atmosphere as a whole. Even at just home games, just some tradition and people that are always gonna, we're always gonna have people there for us, and um, not even just at home games, but like Coach mentioned, all these people coming to away games. It's something special when you have uh, a lot of the fans showing up even before we get there, and so it's just a different atmosphere and it's a special group of people.
Um, Tell me a little bit about you guys being seniors, what your leadership role is on the team.
Making sure everybody does their job right, of course. Just holding everybody accountable because we all have that same end goal in mind, and that's to win a state championship. And us as seniors, we have to keep the underclassmen doing their jobs right and holding them accountable.
Um, yeah, like he just said, that's you know, just holding people accountable, like he mentioned, just making sure everybody's practice, everybody's putting in the work, never quitting, doing what we can, always never taking play off, just working and uh, being an encouragement as well, not bashing people, but encouraging and uh, yeah.
So Coach White talked about how you guys have all stayed together, been together for a long time. So just tell me about what the brotherhood of this group is like, what the relationships are like on that football team.
So we started in third grade together, and I mean, we've grown so close over the years, and mainly everybody staying together all the way up. We ninth grade year we had a very strong year together, and that's when we kind of really came together um, as an older football team, and we've kind of carried that over into senior high, and we're just very close. Brotherhood, like you said, really helps with our team morale and everything like that. So
Yeah, it's a really special group, like he just mentioned. But I will say, when I did end up coming over here, I was welcomed in with open arms, like no other place. So just an instant click with all these rest of these guys, and uh, like having a powerful year in ninth grade, and that's when we finally all turned up, and we've just been a collective win as a team, lose as a team. Like just all of us are just together in this, and it's a really special feeling to have.
Kane, I know you battled back from a really tough injury whenever you were a couple seasons ago, right? And so tell me about what it was like coming back from that and how that impacted your football journey.
So being on the sidelines, it obviously motivates me more to want to be out there on the field and just play with my brothers, and just having to stand over there and watch them. Last year was a very good season, and seeing them win just really got me excited to come back, and it really motivated me to play harder and play with them.
Duncan, tell me a little bit about what the offensive line unit is like for Mount Ida. You guys play a very physical brand of offense, so tell me a little bit about what the offensive line does and how close that group is.
Uh, as a group that's been together since 3 years as an offensive lineman group, um, these guys, we all have it really special together, and that we all cooperate well together because we know that's where the anchor of the offense starts with us, and so without us, I don't know how we could imagine the rest of the guys, but um, this group we have is really special. playing in a different type of offense to where our blocking schemes are different and how we fire off and just everything that we do is it's a really special thing. And this group is a really good group, and we're ready to just go out there and wreak havoc as an offensive line.
All right, last question for you two guys. What would be a successful season for you guys at Mount Ida this year?
Obviously, winning a conference championship, playing together, and then our big goal is to win a state championship, and that would be a very successful season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not much more we could say there about that, but yeah, just winning the conference, learning from mistakes, getting better every week, starting with the first, and then hopefully in Little Rock. So that's just we just hope to be able to make improvements and just not get too down and just make it to the main goal.
All right. Well, thank you to Mount Ida for coming down here and talking to us today. We really appreciate having all of you here. You're going to have a very, very good year this year, I think. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what the Lions do come playoff time, because you guys will definitely be there and you'll be one of the favorites, I'm sure. So before we get to Glen Rose, we're going to go to a quick break real quick. They could be rolling around here anytime. They're scheduled for 1:20, but we've had some teams come in early today, so we could be getting in earlier than that. But we're going to go to a break real quick, and then we'll be right back with Glen Rose right here on the Arkansas Sports Network for Hometown Sports Volume 2 live from the Hot Springs Convention Center.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 50 days till the kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
All right, we're back here on the Arkansas Sports Network for the Hot Springs edition of Hometown Sports Volume 2 Media Day here at the Hot Springs Convention Center today. I am grateful to be joined by head football coach of the Glen Rose Beavers, Coach Stephen Keener. Coach Keener, thank you for coming down here and talking to us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking the time and having us over here. We appreciate it, and especially for getting our kids the exposure. And we appreciate the work you guys do on a yearly basis, man. Since you guys came onto the page, we Arkansas football has definitely jumped up again, and we appreciate that for sure.
Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you guys as well. So, tell me a little bit about an overview of what's going on at Glen Rose football right now.
Man, rocking and rolling as I assume everybody else is. We've been at it, pretty much since we were done. We were back at it day one. We were out of school that Friday, and right after Memorial Day on that Tuesday, we were at it. And we're blessed right now with great numbers, great group of kids. We're excited, and these kids have been setting the tone each and every day, and trying to climb and jump from what we did last year. We understand what we did last year is not a part of our goals. Our goals are pretty set in stone and clear, and we don't ever shy away from that, and that's what we're working towards right now. So.
Talk to me about your schedule this year. Who you guys play? You guys, from my memory, playing a pretty tough conference, and so tell me a little bit about who you guys are playing in non-conference this year. I know you guys try to schedule some difficult non-conference games to start the year, and so tell me a little bit about your non-conference schedule. Who you guys are playing, why you're playing them, and then going into conference, who you guys are looking forward to playing as well.
Yeah, non-conference will open up week 0 with Bauxite at home. And try to regroup from the performance we had against them last year, as well as we will go to Malvern week 1. It's always a great game for us. Obviously both within the same county, probably about maybe 10 minutes apart down the highway. It's a great gate for us. It's a great week for the community, and we're looking forward to that as well. And then we'll have week 2. We'll go to Bismarck, a school that probably just come off the not probably, but absolutely the best year they've had in Bismarck, since day one. And Coach Keithley does a great job. He's done a great job since he's been there. We have a lot of respect for them. But we're definitely excited and looking forward to going back to Bismarck week 2. And it's a team that's been in our conference for years now, and this is the first time, and probably the first time ever, to my knowledge, that they haven't been within our conference. And it's just too good of a game, and again, it's just too close not to play. And so me and Coach Keithley got together, and thankfully we were able to get that going.
Tell me a little bit about what the pressure is like in Glen Rose. You guys have a tradition-rich football program and football town, so talk to me about what the pressure is like to win at Glen Rose every year.
Man, absolutely, and we're thankful for that. Our community and our school district within itself, they're accustomed to that, and they expect a certain thing year in and year out. And that's why we're doing it, man. I don't know why else you would, and I wouldn't necessarily say pressure. It's what you want within a community, within an administration or a school district. You want that kind of outlook and thought process when it comes to your football program, and thankfully it's been that way for a long time, long before I arrived. And we're working day in and day out. Again, these kids are going above and beyond day in and day out, and hopefully we can keep it going the way it has been.
Tell me about what you guys are going to be doing as far as X's and O's this year on offense and defense.
Man, we've kind of morphed lately from spread to more of a pro style type thing out of the gun. Um, a little bit of 21 personnel, 20. We really hadn't just spaced out and tossed it around as much as I have in the past. We just hadn't been able to. You got to be able to adjust to what's on the roster and go from there. It's not going to be the case this year. Rookie baby quarterback is not a baby anymore. He's pretty special. He can put the ball anywhere on the field you ask him to at any given moment. I got receivers now who are not babies anymore. I got guys that can go get any one of them. Knowledge of the game has grown. We're learning how to run routes, and we're learning our landmarks, and making those fundamental and mechanical. And obviously, if you get a move in, that always helps. And I got one of those as well. So I got one that can go by you, go over you, break you down, break you off, and still catch it on you. And we're excited about that as well. So.
Tell me about what you guys are bringing back this year and what you guys lost from last year. I know that you talked to me last year, if I remember correctly. You said you got a lot of young guys on your team last year, and
Yes,
so
sir.
you guys are going to bring them back quite a bit, and you're going to have a high expectations. So tell me a little bit about who you guys are bringing back and who you guys lost.
Man, we're bringing back 9 out of 11 on offense and 9 out of 11 on defense. What we're losing, losing what was ended up morphing into a pretty daggum good running back for us. That also on the defensive side of the ball anchored us down at a defensive end as well. And he could go. He could go on both sides of the ball, man. And we were really fortunate enough to have a player like him to take the helm with a young group that we had at the time. But yeah, like you said, man, we got 9 out of 11 on both sides coming back. And at the end of the day, when most of them cats were 10th graders last year, it's tough. It's tough. You go from a junior high schedule, and really not even a year later, you're playing big boy ball. And those lights are a little bit different. And it was awesome to see the maturity and the growth each week, even last year as the season went on. We really didn't know. We could have went one way or the other. We could have laid an egg and had a flop year. And we knew if things clicked and everything came together, we figured we could win out and have an undefeated conference championship again. And our kids buckled down and decided they wanted to do that and not be the group that didn't. And I got that same group of kids coming back now. We got a rotation of kids obviously trying to fill the workhorse spot at the running back for us, and then at that DN spot as well. Because we know at the end of that, Glen Rose, we're trying to establish the ball game on the ground, and if we're able to do that, we're usually pretty successful. So we're excited about that. We got a great group coming back, and we're ready to get there.
Tell me about the community in Glen Rose. I know that's a big football's a big deal in Glen Rose, and every Friday the whole town packs the stadium pretty much. So
hmm
tell me about what the community is like in Glen Rose and what a Friday night is like.
It's awesome. Friday nights they're different at our place, man. And we had just hired a new superintendent, and actually had a meeting with him this morning. And we had the same conversation. That's one of those things that's hard to describe, and especially when you start talking November, December playoff time. And we're hosting one of those jokers at the house. It's fun, man. It's fun, and because it hasn't always been that way. And I'm old enough to I've seen both sides of it when my father himself was coaching and trying to get this thing going, and what it's morphed to now, it's really cool to see now, and we're one of the few schools that still don't live stream football games, and there's a reason. Our people still come, our people show up, and our atmosphere is a little bit different than a normal 3A high school football atmosphere around here, and we're trying to keep that going for sure. So,
Um, I'll get you one more question, then I'll bring in your guys.
all right,
Tell me what a successful season would be for Glen Rose this year.
to win the whole thing. That's as I talked about earlier, that's our goal. We preach it year in and year out. We have full expectations of getting to Little Rock and not just getting there, but winning the whole thing. And we don't ever shy away from it. Not we're just confident in that. We're trying to be confident in our daily work and try to manifest those things. I'm a firm believer in manifesting things and believing in what you're doing, and we believe in ourselves. So
All right, before we hand it off to your guys here, just give them a quick introduction, real quick.
I got with me today what will be junior defensive lineman and offensive lineman Riley Cox. Um, Transfer just got to us. What will be senior receiver and DB Damian Stevens, and then what will be senior wide receiver returning starter for us as well, Weston Stanley.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for being here, talking to us today.
Yes, sir. Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. And you can go ahead and send in your guys.
Gotcha.
Just two. All right, guys. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Riley Cox. I mean, I play D line, O line. Been here since like second grade. I moved up in ninth grade, played in playoffs, started them. Then we lost to Boonville. It was a tough loss, and yeah, I've been starting ever since. Been just trying to lead as much as I can, and just setting the example for the people that are coming up, and just trying to do just make it all the way. So we haven't been able to do since for a little while. Just make it all the way and go to state.
Damian Stevens. I transferred in from Magnet Cove in February. Went there my entire life, but always grew up around the Keeners. Knew what Glen Rose football was about, and decided that's what I wanted for myself for my senior year.
Um, just tell me a little bit about what it's like playing for Coach Keener.
Man, I don't think there's nothing better really. He's just overall great coach. Yeah, just relatable. He work with you. I mean, I wouldn't make him mad, but still, but even when he is mad, he'll just afterwards. I mean, he ain't. He'll apologize. Not but he was most likely in the right. So he's just basically coaching you up most likely. So he's just overall just great.
I mean, it's been an amazing experience so far. I haven't got to be with him for as long as in Raleigh or Weston, but I have no zero downfall of it. I never regret moving over here. I love being under the Keeners and all the coaches at Glen Rose. I'm a firm believer that we do have one of the best coaching staffs in the state, if not the best.
Riley, tell me what it's like playing for a community like Glen Rose and what it's like playing under those Friday night lights.
And it's just ever since I started playing in seventh grade, you could feel it. The parents, just everybody, they just accept you. It don't matter who you are, how you act, nothing like that. But just they overall they welcome you when you. When my cousin got here, they welcomed him. He just feel right at home when he got here in like 2016. So yeah, just very welcoming.
Damian, tell me a little bit about what it's been like since you transferred into Glen Rose, how things might be different, and then just why you decided to make that decision to go over there.
Well, like he said, the community is very welcoming. I've grown up in the community. All my family goes to Glen Rose, always has my entire life. The Keeners have always been really special people to my family since I was as long as I can remember. So wasn't really anything different. Kind of just felt like home as soon as I got here. But the reason I did move was just wanted something different for myself for my senior year. And after a lot of time thinking and praying with my family, we just decided that would be what's best for me and my football career after high school.
Tell me what your team is going to look like this year. What do you think the strengths of y'all's team will be?
I think as it was last year, D line with all of us on it, and just and just overall the O line, receivers, QB, and we got like real like hard nosed team. Like everybody, just the O line, they big, tall, some of them, and I think that's more like our strength goes from just linemen and receivers.
Yeah, second, the receivers, we're going to have a very special group on offense this year with our quarterback. Will be a junior, Gage Hood, can throw the ball, like Coach said, throw the ball anywhere you want him to. A great receiving core, many options at running back, great D line, defense. We'll have secondary. Basically, everybody has experience now that will be older. And I think we're going to put a lot of points up on the board this year.
Talk to me about what you guys have been doing this summer as far as team camps, 7-on-7 practices, what those look like.
I mean, it's just been better than I ever have. Like all the off seasons I've been through is just better. Like the team camps, they've been fun. The off season weight room, everybody, and especially max days, everybody. I haven't seen one max day where it's just like not have been like really energetic. Everybody going up on numbers, flying through the roof. Like everybody, there's like not one person in there that's just stalling on numbers at all.
Yeah, definitely something that you'd have to be there to really understand what we're talking about, just the energy we have, the mentality. I mean, everybody's focusing on the same thing, making it to Little Rock in December. So, I mean, it's just going to be really special when we get to put that out there on the field in August.
Tell me what a successful season would be for Glen Rose this year.
State going all the way. Nothing less, really. Yeah, that's it. Really.
They preach it every day, talk about it every day. I mean, our goal is to make it to state and have a ring on our finger.
I'll ask you guys one last question, and then we'll get your teammate in here. Are there any games that you guys are really looking forward to playing this season?
That Malvern game, really. I mean, it's been just. I really want to play that game. Just the energy is always so high in that game, and yeah, just we ain't been able to be in for a little bit, so I think this is the year where that changes. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, really that game really.
Madden Cove for me. I mean, I have a lot to put out and to prove during that game, so October 3rd will be special for me.
All right. Well, you guys go ahead and hand off to your teammate. Thank you guys for being here today. Really
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
talking to
Thank
you.
you for having us.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Weston Stanley. I play wide receiver at Glen Rose. I started off playing quarterback, but we got somebody coming up behind me he can really play, so I moved out to receiver and been there ever since.
Tell me about what you like about playing for Coach Keener.
Everything. I think he's the best coach in the state. He really knows how to get his guys to all play together and play good. So he wins a lot of games too, so that's always good.
Tell me about what it's like. You said, they were talking, you've been at Glen Rose for a while now, haven't you?
Yes,
So
sir.
tell me about what it's like playing for that community and playing under the Friday Night Lights in Glen Rose.
It's just a surreal experience. You kind of have to be there to know what it's like, but all the fans, they all like, there's just so many of them. It's like, there's nothing else like it.
Talk to me about what you are really excited about with your offense this year playing receiver.
Our quarterback, he can really sling it. Uh, I think we're gonna have a really special group this year, and we have a good chance of going all the way.
Um, Talk to me about what the culture is like at Glen Rose, what you guys value as a team, and just tell me a little bit about that.
We value like just the team in general, like everybody working together, all trying to achieve the same goal, which is to be in Little Rock on December 13th.
Talk to me about the speaking on that a little bit more. Talk to me about the brotherhood that you guys have and the relationships you guys have on your football team.
I mean, everybody being up there as much as we are every day, just there's, I mean, you can't have a better relationship than that with your teammates. And we've all been together for so long. Everybody's like since 7th grade. Just everybody works good together here. So I think we got a really good group.
Are there any games on your schedule this year that you are really looking forward to playing?
I mean, I think we need some redemption against Bauxite. We didn't. It wasn't our best performance last year, and I think that doesn't show like that's not how the team we really are. Like we can definitely do better than that.
Um, Tell me a little bit about your football journey, just what you've been doing. You said you played quarterback before, so tell me a little bit about how that transition has been from quarterback to receiver.
I started playing quarterback in 7th grade, and I was the backup in 8th grade until we lost our starting quarterback, and then I took over from there. And like I said, we got a kid in the grade below me that came up whenever I moved into 9th grade, and he took over. He's really special. So, but the transition to receiver has been good. I really love it out there, and yep, that's pretty much it.
What would be a successful year for you guys this year at Glen Rose?
To be in Little Rock on December 13th and get some hardware.
Well, thank you for being here with us and talking today. Really appreciate all you guys from Glen Rose for coming down and talking to us. We think you're going to have a really good year down in Beaver Country, I guess. So, Brad Caldwell's going to jump in here real quick. And Weston, thank you for coming down and talking to us today. Really appreciate you
Yes, sir.
and all of you guys from Glen Rose. And Brad's going to get in here and talk real quick. And we're going to sign off. We got Murfreesboro coming at 4 o'clock, so we've got a very long break here. Thank you guys for coming in.
Yeah, we got Murfreesboro that's our last one that we've got scheduled for today. If you see the schedule, Lakeside Lake Village came in at 10:20, and so they were the first ones that came in. So we got Murfreesboro left, and Coach Kyle Turley there. So if you're watching right now and you're a fan of high school football or you're a fan of Murfreesboro, make sure that you mark that. At 4 o'clock, we'll start back up. We're going to take a lunch break. But, man, I'll tell you what, man, we've had a good day here. I was just counting it up. I know we've said, well, we think we're
60 or
interviewing.
70, yeah.
It's 70. It's 70 coaches by tomorrow. And I will say, hey, if you're up there and if you haven't come to us yet, we've got the Clinton side. If that's something that you're close to, we've got Clinton tomorrow. We've got plenty of spots over at Clinton. So if you want to come in, make sure that you mark that sheet. Those that have that sheet, mark that sheet and let us know. But yeah, it's going to end up, if everybody shows up, it's going to end up being 70 coaches here. And I would say for what we've done here this week for a first time thing, I think it's turned out great. It's turned out awesome.
Absolutely.
So anyway, well, guys, we're going to sign off here till 4 o'clock. We've got one more interview for the rest of the day. And we want to thank Cornerstone Roofing and Construction for helping us out, as well as Harps for being a regional sponsor today. Man, again, been an awesome day so far here from the Hot Springs Convention Center. So we're going to go grab a bite to eat, come back. We'll probably get the stream started about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes before. So if you're looking for Murfreesboro, that's when we'll be in. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us once again, and we will see you here at 4 o'clock.